Prayers.
Almighty God, who in thy wisdom and goodness has appointed the offices of rulers and parliament for the welfare of society and just government of men, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us, thy servant, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of important tasks in this land. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this house assembled. Grant us that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and faithful a manner, to promote thy honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our church. Amen. Clerk, you may proceed.
Correction and approval of the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 29th November 2023.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 29 November 2023 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Member for Sanementre.
I rise to move that the said records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 29th November 2023. Thank you.
Any seconder? Member for nominated member Fatou Kejawara.
I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 29 November 2023 be approved. Any correction or observation from honorable members? We will look at the records page by page. Beginning with page 1, if any member have issues or observation for correction, may do so by show of constituency tag. Page 2. Member for Fonyi Jaro.
Okay, thank you. On Wednesday, I was absent with permission, but my name falls under the list of those present. So it should be moved to members absent with permission.
Members absent?
With permission.
You said your name?
Fall under the names those who are present when I was absent.
Yes, and you, okay.
I took permission, so it should be moved to the...
Yes, he took permission.
Yes.
You'll also see number 55, the member for Jara is absent with permission. He had no permission. He was not permitted. He has no permission. No, the member for Jara is and the member for Upper Fuladu West.
Of course, I took permission. Honorable Speaker, I took permission.
From who?
From the clerk and speaker.
No, clerk cannot give permission. No. No. Their names will be expunged from those who absent with permission. Table clerk, take note. Yes, member for Opanyomi.
Honorable Speaker, how do you know that the following honorable members were absent without permission? How do you know that? Or did they take permission from you or not? Where do you want to grant permission?
Honorable member, of course. You can only be granted permission by the office of the Speaker. They were not granted permission.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Yes. We want to assume that during that session, Honorable Speaker was on the chair and in charge of the office by that time. Were you informed that they were absent without permission, or you know it?
Honorable Speaker, member for Kiang West, take your seat. Any order on page 3? Yes, Upper Salum, Lower Salum.
Yes, the member for Fonyi Jarol, he said he was absent with permission. Where did he take that permission? With who? Tell us, because you are presiding there.
Am I the member for Jara for Fonyi Jara? Ask him the question.
Yeah, no, but he said he took a permission with he was absent with permissions. Already his name was recorded in the present list. And now he said he was absent with permission. From who?
Honorable member for Lower Salum.
I took permission from both clerk and the speaker before I left Seni. Seni is there as my witness. I informed Seni, I informed the speaker. I am too professional to go without permission.
In fact, Honorable member for Fonyi Jarol, maybe you forgot, you also came to my office and took permission. And of course, I granted you permission. And it's very, very rare to see. Don't use your mic, member for Lower Salum. Please. Please. Honorable member for Lower Salum, it's very rare for someone to be absent and his name is recorded among those who are present. And the very member raised observations, and to clearly come out to say that his name is recorded, those who are present, and he was in. And we must commend him for that. And I can assure you he took permission. Can we move to page 4? Any observations or issues on page 4? The member for Woolley is.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Just one observation.
We are not in question time, member for Latakunda Assembly. When we are in question time on Wednesday, you can ask questions.
What question time?
Yes,
no, I want
the member for Woolley is.
No, I'm speaking with regards to honorable member for.
No, that one is over.
It's not a question now.
No, that one is over.
No, it's not over.
No, sir.
Because what I want to be very sure, he said he took permission from the speaker, the clerk, the deputy speaker, the table office. Which one was binding?
Yes, Speaker, thank you. If you look at the top, the second line, the first paragraph, where it says expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia with the amendments. Our language is we remove the article D, but there is no definite amendment.
Honorable members, are you following on page 4, top of page 4, first item? That is the second line, and that's the last word on the second line, the article D.
Yes, so,
with amendments instead of
and
with
wherever,
amendments.
because it's everywhere, so wherever it is, that saves us.
And that wherever it appears. The Honorable Member for Nyanija.
Honorable Speaker, I want to differ with my honorable colleague. Yes, because if you look at it all over, that's how it is captured. I remember we are dealing with the estimates here. Like in normal committees, when we are dealing with bills and so on, you just say approve with amendments. But I think here with the amendments, because already we have a prior report adopted by us with the FPAC. I think that's the consolidated report. So I think that's where they are basing the amendment, and also the amendments made at the floor of the House. So I think it's okay like this, I think.
You think?
Honorable Member for Nyanija, are you saying that the proposal from the member for Wuli should be, the article is good there? Is that your proposal?
Yes, what I mean is it should be left as it is, because I think it is correct as it is. In my own...
Honorable members, the member for Nyanija has a contrary view to that of Wuli and he is of the opinion that we should leave the article there. Now, the item reads, one question, put an agreed to that head 1, Office of the President stands part of the 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia with the amendments. The member for Wuli is saying the article D should be removed, but the member for Nyanija is of the opinion we should leave it there. It's for the honorable members. The member for Kiang West.
Yes, Honorable, if the amendments that we have in the report here are the amendments they are talking about, then the article is fine there, because it's talking about specific amendments that we have in the report right now. So the article D is telling us about those amendments that we have in the report right now. So I think the article D is fine there. If these are the amendments it is talking about, then the article D is fine there. But if those amendments it is talking about are not fine in this report, then we may try to correct that D. Thank you.
Honorable members, the report is yours. The report is yours. So the member for Banjul North.
Honorable Speaker, I think I will just malign with what the member for Kiang West have said. I think the Article D is correct as far as this report is concerned.
Salom.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think the D is actually okay, because it's referring to a very specific report that was actually taken on board. So D is okay. So I think we can leave it the way it is.
So the D is referring to which report? Honorable members, it appears that members want also leave it like that, and removing the D also won't do any harm. Maybe it may be even better, but we leave it as it is. It's your report. Any other observation? Move to page 5. The member for Wuli is?
Yes, just one observation. If you go to 9, it's a foreign affair. So it should be foreign affairs. That's the name of the ministry. And if you go to 12, you will see pension and gratuities. It should be pensions. That's what is in the estimates. Pensions and gratuities. Thank you. You've seen them?
He's on page 5.
You've seen them?
That's 9. Ministry of Foreign Affairs stands part of the 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia with the amendments. What are your concerns?
Foreign Affairs. The name is Affairs.
Oh yeah, the affair should be Foreign Affairs.
Yes. And then the last paragraph is pensions and gratuities.
All right.
You've seen that?
On the last, that's 12, that's the last item on the page. Pension, you add S. Yes, member for Jara Center.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the purpose of consistency, Roman figure 5, Yes, Roman figure 5. Paragraph 5.
Which page?
Page 5.
Page 5.
Yeah, the first paragraph there.
Huh? The first paragraph, yes?
Yes. The amendments, the amendment, the S should go out. And to read without amendment. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, let us go back to this. The member for Wuli is laughing because when you look, he said, let's remove the S. He said we add B. Now, let's go to page 5, back to page 5. Page 4, the first item. Question put and agreed to that head 01, Office of the President, stands part of the bill, part of the 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia with the amendments. It's your report, but I don't think that is correct. Maybe if you want it to end with the amendments, you should remove the article da. With amendments, it's more, or you want to maintain the article D, you must probably say the Republic of the Gambia with the amendments made to it, maybe. With the amendments made to it. Yes, member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. You know, when we started the Committee of Supply, some of us raised an issue that the report of the FPAC is just a guide as far as Standing Order 91 is concerned. But there were some dissenting voices that whatever that we adopted at the plenary based on the FPAC report, we cannot touch it, we cannot change it. That was what they said. So we all went by that. And if that is the case, then this is correct. But that never happened here. This is the first time.
The first time in history.
No, the member for Nyanija, this one here have nothing to do with the FPAC report. I think we should remove the Article D with the Republic of the Gambia with amendments. What is your report? We can go back. We can continue if you so desire. The member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think actually you are right if you look at it, because already you put amendments on Article D. Article D is qualifying the numerous amendments. So if you put amendment with S, which means you are going to have these two. So Article D, either you will remove Article D or S from the amendments.
I agree. Member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, this does not cause any harm. This does not cause any harm. It does not change the meaning of any text here. It doesn't. What I was trying to put across, if the specific amendments that were made by the time are captured in this report, the article would be very, very important and substantial to stand there. If those specific amendments, it is telling us, with the amendments that you will see later, when you go to the report, those are the amendments it is talking about. When you say it with amendments, that amendments could be could be vague. That could be any amendment within the report or outside the report. But when he says with the amendment, this is talking about amendments that you have within the report. That's what I'm saying. When he says with amendments, that could be any other amendment that is not also captured in the report. But when it says with the amendments, that is specifically telling you no amendment outside the amendments that we have in the report.
Member for Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think the language is very clear. With or without Article D, the language is okay. But when it comes to records, we either put Article D or we leave it out. But then when it comes to language, both of them are fine. With or without is okay.
Honorable members, let's move to, it appears that we have to agree on something. Nyanija, yes?
I think we have to agree on something. You know, what you are saying, I understand you very well, and what other members are saying. And that is the correct thing to do. But what transpired here on that day, as far as reporting is concerned, this is what is correct. If we change it, it means what transpired.
It's not correct.
I don't know whether you understand.
Honorable members, it appears that most members want us to leave it. Is that so? Yes. Let's move to page 6. Page 5, member for Jara Central on page 5.
Page 5, my corrections is not being considered. What I corrected on page 5. Paragraph 5.
Foreign Affairs.
Paragraph 5.
Oh, yeah, paragraph 5, yes.
Question put and agreed to that head 05 Public Service Commission stands part of the 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia without amendments. I said the S should be deleted to leave as amendment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable members, on page 5, the first item, without amendments, but he said he wants us to remove the letter S so that it's single. You know, here also either way, you can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 amendments. You may not. Huh? Because, you know, here probably it's collective. You say, you know, without amendments. Yes, I think the S is fine, but it's for the members, not me. The member for Uli is. Oh.
No, I'm saying if you say without any amendment, if you put any there, then you don't need the S. But if you say without, you can put S or without S.
Both are fine.
Or for example, if you say with no amendment, then you cannot put S.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that very well. But in terms of
No. Honorable, we are not debating. If you want to speak, you must seek the floor first.
Okay.
But go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. I stated earlier that for this purpose of consistency, if you go in the report, there are instances where that S is not added there. So let us be very specific here and be consistent in our report, in our record keeping. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member, I agree that for purpose of consistency, but also it doesn't mean we have to be stagnant or static. Sometimes if we think departing from consistency might be better than consistency, we may depart. Yes, a member for Kiang-West.
I pray that we are not inconsistent. Honorable Speaker, we are looking at a specific head. We are looking at a specific head. So I think I will concur with the member to say without amendment. Yes, without amendment. And we are looking at, I am saying...
Consistency?
Please hear me out, Honorable. I said we are looking at one head, a specific head. So we know that under every head you have specific numerous budget lines. But here we are looking at it as a specific head. So when we say without amendment, it's fine. They may both be correct, but when you look at the two, you look at which one is more appropriate. You can use all of them and they are not wrong, but which one is more appropriate now, that's what you do. So when we look at a specific head, to say without amendment is more appropriate than when you say without amendments, even though without amendments might not also be wrong. But for appropriation, that without amendment is more correct.
Thank you. I agree with your submission because you choose to avoid consistency. I was just trying to tell him consistency or inconsistency. What we need to do is the right thing, things that is more appropriate. And because I saw you laughing, maybe you were also going to support his consistency. But thank you for avoiding that words. So both are correct, either without amendments or without amendment. Last, Sanementre, on this particular issue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. But in this case, Honorable Speaker, I guess without or any or no stands the same. Because like we're talking about one document that we looked at, and which is the estimate for 2024 estimate. So when we say the Gambia, or let's say the revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia, without amendment, S should be deleted. This is one document that we've looked at. So
Honorable members, the member for Jara Central proposed that we delete S. Is that your opinion? Yes. So we delete S. Okay, member for Latikuna Sabiji.
Yes, thank you very much. How many amendments we did before we delete S? We have to be very sure how many, because for me, deleting S, it doesn't give me sense. We cannot be here going back to English 101.
No, please allow him to finish.
Who is speaking? No, somebody is speaking.
Thank you, member.
What I want to be sure, the S it should be there. Why are you removing S when we have done numerous amendments?
Yeah, Honorable, you asked a question, but I will ask you that question because you were here on that day. It was members that are part of the committee of. Were you present? Yes. No, because you are asking me how many amendments. You should know. Thank you. You know where I was arriving. I will not go there. Be assured. Honorable members, it appears that you want us to delete S. All right, thank you, member for Jara Central. Any order on page 5? In the absence of that, we go to page 6. Page 6. Page 7. Member for Woolly is?
Yes, thank you. Page 7, you have 26 at 26, the second line, where they put economic.
You know, honorable member.
You've seen that?
You know, those who are born before computers, they are good at these figures.
You should go back to Rome to learn the Latin.
But the new breed, so you have to help us which paragraph count. I'm challenged. You said what number?
Second paragraph, second to the last paragraph on page 7.
Okay.
Where you have double XV and 1.
Oh, that's 25, 1, 26.
Yes, second line where you have economic stance. That economic should be economy. Digital economy.
Ministry of Communication
and Digital Economy, not economic.
Digital economy.
Yes. And then the last paragraph, where you have amendments, I'll follow the Jara East. You remove the S for consistency, he said.
Now, on the last item, the member for Woolly is proposing to delete S on amendments last. Now, let's read it. question put and agreed to that head 35, Ministry of Public Service, Administrative Reforms and Policy Coordination stands part of the bill. The one with? Or the one we amended? Without the amendments. Without amendments. Now, consistency, the other one, it says only without amendments. The D was not there. And then, are you people raising the consistency? Now, this one, it have D. You people said consistency. Member for Kiang West? Member for 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍, the follow.
Okay. There are other areas also where there is with amendments.
You see,
consistency. The article is not there. It is at other places, not at other places. So what do we use?
Consistency. This House have been using only with amendments or without amendments. Now you are bringing with the amendments, without the amendments. Sometimes with amendments, so you have to be consistent.
No, you said sometimes we can deviate consistency when we know that consistency is inconsistent.
That is why I am putting to you people, the members, that you people trade on consistency. And I am of the opinion that you may depart. But because of consistency, you're insisting, and this Article D that you are putting is new today. So where do we stand now?
Yes, Honorable, a lot is not consistent in the report.
Yeah.
In this specific, not in fact what we used to do as far as consistency is concerned, but in this specific report that we have, you have some of the heads you have with the amendments, and some of the heads you have with amendment. So we need to have a look at that.
With the amendment, with amendment, without the amendment.
Yes, it's a question put and agreed to. Head 19, Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment stands part of the 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia with amendments.
And you see, it is more palatable without the Article D.
Honorable Speaker, let's remove Article D.
Thank you very much for thank you for access. Thank you. I definitely agree with you. We should remove the Article D. Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm just looking at the report at another angle with regard to this numbering issue. I think a report should be meant for people to quickly understand it. Why not start numbering 1, 2, 3 before people will be stranded with this? Thank you.
Honorable members, I don't know whether this Roman numbering also, but he wants us to use the modern numbering that some of us know. Maybe you will have the member for Serekunda, the Madisi, the Swipe and others, and then the member for Combo South. They are okay with this, but some of us, it's difficult. He said he wants us to depart from this way of numbering to the modern day of numbering. That's for the members to agree. Do you agree, honorable members? Yes. All right. Clerk, please take note. Now, on any order, now let's move to page 8. Member for Sanementre.
Chair, sorry, Honorable Speaker, I will take you a little bit back to page 6 rather, for the Roman figure number 9, which reads question put and agreed to that heads 14 Ombudsman, 15
page 6. You said number 9.
Yes, page 6, number 9.
Which
Roman
one is 9?
Roman figure 9. That's the first
on page 6.
The one on top. The one at the top.
Huh?
Yeah, that's page 6.
No, that's not 9.
Is it 13? Well, 13, okay, that's fine. Okay, I agree with what he said, actually.
So, the member for Sanementre?
Yes, so the second line, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, stands part of the bill. S is missing. So I think it will be appropriate to add it. Yeah, thank you.
On that number, that's the first item. You see, she told us page number 9, and and that's not 9. So therefore, we should agree with the member for Same, and then depart from this. Yes, Brikama South. Page 8, yes. On page 8 now.
Honorable Speaker, Roman number 28, Committee of Supply. Question put and agreed to that the development budget of the 2024 estimate of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia, page 261 to 305, stand as part of the estimate. For consistency purpose, we put stands part of the estimate rather than stand as part of the estimate with amendment.
Honorable members, they want us to add S on the stand.
Remove as.
Yes.
As part of.
And also delete.
Yeah.
Stands part of the bill. The as there should be deleted.
Exactly.
Yes. Any other member for Nyanija?
I have an observation, Honorable Speaker. The development budget, I think we dealt with it head by head like we did with the recurrent. So I don't know why do we join it in one clause and say development budget be, I don't know, estimate be, approve pages 261 or so. I don't know. I am on page 8. I don't.
Honorable members, the member for Nyanija is reminding us that we dealt with those respective ministries and departments head by head as we did during the consideration stage of the recurrent. So he wants us to remove the numbering of pages and then go by head as we did, because that's what transpired in the committee of stages. It was head by head. Yeah, member for Lower Salum. Upper Salum, sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the member for Nyanija is correct. We dealt with it head by head, and there were some changes also along the line. So I think it's better to explicitly show head by head and all the changes actually occurred in those heads. Thank you.
Yes, member for Jara Central.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Page 8, the first paragraph, the second one, that single line there. The assembly resumed at 48 minutes after 11 o'clock in the evening. It's very odd to call 11 o'clock evening. It's supposed to be in the evening, in the night rather.
Honorable members, when you go to Wuli, you go to Nyanija and others, once you pray Maghrib, it's called night. But because we were colonized and we are using our medium of communications or work, we are using the British this thing. And for them, from maybe 5 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. is evening time. So we leave it as it is.
No. Well, we can.
Member for Wuli is?
Now, let's, if you go to question put and agree to down, the sentence behind that, the second line, where after inclusive, where you have where, I believe should be worse, because it's one document that we are talking about. Are you following, Speaker?
No following.
The assembly was not divided under that sentence. The second line should be was approved with amendments, not were approved. It's only one document.
Which paragraph?
The paragraph under the sentence, the assembly was not divided. You see that paragraph under that. The 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia, 1st January to 31st December 2024, both days inclusive, were approved. I'm saying it should not be where, it's only one document. Is this book which is approved? It's only one book.
Seni, I am not following. That's the last paragraph. The 2024 estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia, 1st January to 31st December 2024, both dates inclusive, were approved with amendments. Honorable members, his suggestion to replace the word where to was. All right, it's your report. Thank you. Any order? It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceeding of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 29 November 2023 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Thank you. Laying of papers and reports. Report of the Defense and Security Committee. Report of the Defense and Security Committee on the visit to security installations and facilities across the country in November 2022 by the Honorable Chairperson of the Committee.
Honorable members, before I call on the representative of the chairman of the committee to present his report, you may notice that the public gallery it's empty. I was asking the table office, because remember our own assembly here, we directed that whenever we are considering reports, members of various of those stakeholders should be notified and be here. And it appears that and it happened that the office of the clerk have not informed them and notified them to be here. I take this thing serious, and it must not happen again. The office of the clerk must take note, because members cannot be debating on important report, spending a lot of money on it, and at the end of the day, those officials are not notified to come and take note. Clerk, please take note. Let that not happen again.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
What are you raising on what?
On a question.
No.
For you, with respect to the matter you're talking about.
No, it's not for debate.
No, I'm not debating. I'm just asking you. I'm not debating. Hear me out, please.
You're asking me on what?
On the report that you're talking about, yes.
No, the report has not come yet. How can you ask?
Yes. What I mean is, what I wanted to ask is, because those incidents once happened here, and we laid the report when those officers were not here, and they did not respond to our recommendations. And during our engagement with them, we had a very serious challenge with that. So, and today also, these officers are not here too. We are looking at a bulky and an important report like this. So, and they are not here present. And it might also appear again, they don't respond to our recommendations, and they take an excuse they were not aware. So are we looking at the report, or we are going to shelve the report until they are here, then we look at the report while they are present?
Honorable members, I am not opening up a debate. We are not debating. I'm not giving the floor to anyone. Honorable members, in addition to Minister's right to reply, we directed that various departments are notified that they are here. The office of the clerk started that during the session and they abandoned it. They have not done that. So I have made my decision. I said, that should not happen again, clerk. You must ensure that whenever reports are to be tabled, notice before.
So now, as members, we are deciding that we don't look at the report.
Please don't use, please, you cannot do that, please. Don't do that. The office of the clerk, please take note, and that should not happen again. Now, the member for Joshua will present on behalf of the chairman of the Standing Committee on Defense and Security.
Thank you very much, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table before the August Assembly the report of the Standing Committee on Defense and Security tour on the security and defense installation across the country. Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I intend to read the summary of the report, which covers the acknowledgement and then the tour membership, the introduction and then the conclusion, and finally the general recommendations. Acknowledgement. Honorable Speaker, the Standing Committee on Defense and Security sincerely appreciate the magnanimous gesture accorded to it by the Office of the Clerk for facilitating the tour, which was completed successfully. The committee extends its profound gratitude to the security chiefs and staffs of the security installations in the entire country for their cooperation and support throughout the tour. Equally, we want to extend our sincere appreciation to the National Assembly support staffs that accompany the committee throughout the tour, most especially the committee clerks and the research officer. List of committee members present during the tour. Honorable members, Honorable 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 Chair, Honorable 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒍 Vice Chair, Honorable 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏𝒏 member, Honorable 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒏 member, Honorable Abdul member, Honorable 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒏 member, Honorable Mohamed Kante member, Honorable 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒏 member. The support staff, Mr. Marabi S. Haidara, Director of Committees, Ms. Alari Glenn, Committee Clerk, Ms. Mary T. Mendy, Research Officer, Mr. Ali Omar Cham, ITC Cameraman, Mr. Muri S. Sambu, Orderly to the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Fansu Bojang, Driver, and Mr. Mohamed Sawane, Driver to the Deputy Speaker. Introduction. Honorable Speaker, as you may be aware, the Standing Committee on Defense and Security is established by the Section 1091D of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia and the Standing Order 1161D of the National Assembly Standing Committee. Is entrusted with the responsibility of exercising the function of the National Assembly in consideration and advising upon all matters connected with defense and security of the nation. It is against this background the committee embarked on a tour aimed at familiarizing itself with all institutions and agencies under its purview. The tour availed the committee the opportunity to gather first-hand information relating to the security situations in the country, monitoring for itself the living conditions of inmates in the Mile 2, Joshua and Janjambure prison, inspect the living conditions of officials living in the army and the police barracks, and serve as an avenue to advise relevant authorities on effective measures to prevent any security breach in the country. This oversight visit covers North Bank region, Upper River region, Central River region, Lower River region, West Coast region respectively. The period of the tour covers from the 1st to the 10th of November 2022. Honorable Speaker, the tour has enabled the committee to network and understand the situation and challenges of the security sectors in all the regions and help in preparing this report with recommendations for the consideration of the plenary. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the tour equipped the committee with information and more understanding of the issues affecting our men and women in uniform across the country. Methodology. The methodology used during the entire tour was site visits, observations, question and answer session, and photographs. Conclusion. Honorable Speaker, the detailed finding on each of these institutions visited is found in the main report, but to sum up, after the visit, interaction with the sectors, the committee concluded on the following general challenges affecting all the security sectors visited: insufficient fuel allocation, inadequate mobility, inadequate food and food services, inadequate accommodation for personnel, lack of standard accommodation, infrastructure, border demarcation issues, inadequate operational logistics, delay in promotions, the need to review personal emoluments, the need to fast-track the review of the TACOS, and the need to fence military and police barracks stations. General recommendations. Honorable Speaker, in order to mitigate the general cross-cutting issues affecting the security sector across the country, the committee recommend and resolve on the following. 1. The committee provides the government to provide sufficient fuel to security sectors. The government address pertinent mobility challenges in all security institutions. The government provides feeding and accommodation for officials, especially the ones in the provinces. The government work with relevant stakeholders on the border demarcation to avoid any potential conflict. The government provides electricity and solar system to all barracks and security posts across the country. The government provides adequate logistics for the security sector. That the security collaborate and conduct frequent joint patrol. The government established promotional boards to curb promotional stagnation. The government look into the personal emoluments of the security sector. The Ministry of Defense fast-track the review of the TACOS. That the Ministry of Defense supervise and ensure that all military barracks are well secure and fenced. That the government provides standard communication infrastructure for the entire security sector. The government provides additional weaponry, most importantly, side pistols and AK-47 to the PIU. The government provides more patrol vehicles to both the Army and the Armed Forces and the Gambia Police Forces. The government renovates Serekunda and Birkama Fire and Rescue Station and equip them with furniture and fittings. The government provides the Gambia Prison Service with prisoners' van, renovate and expand the remand wing and detention center. That the National Assembly prioritize defense and security issues to embark national security. Number 18, the Gambia Armed Forces engaged NAWEC immediately to extend electricity to the military barracks Kafuta and Kafuta Tumbung. That the Gambia Police Force quickly address the issue of basic office materials and equipment to all major police stations. That the government overhauled and renovate GFRS headquarters and renovate their major divisional station. The government mapped our strategies to acquire some fighters tender vehicle to all the regions in the country. That the government immediately settled travel night allowance to personnel of the Gambia Prison Service and instruct that all personnel to be paid night allowances due to them in accordance with the law and with the law policy. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any seconder, the member for Fonyi Councillor.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby second the report of Standing Committee of Defense and Security. And again, I want to rise on a motion, and participate in the debate. I also want to rise on a motion to set a time limit for the various reports that are laid in this August Assembly, if I may permit it, please. Thank you. So I want to move it to restrict the time to four minutes, if it is okay. Yes, for all the reports, to 4 minutes. Huh? Okay, I've changed it to 5 minutes.
Any seconder? The member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member, you should state the relevant provision of the standing order. But I think everybody understands, so I second the motion. But next time, please state the relevant provision of the standing order.
Honorable Chair, I have observation.
Yes, I will come to you after dealing with the motion. It has been moved and seconded that we limit there will be time limit for honorable member, please.
All right, thank you very much. The debate in this, I think the report is a comprehensive report that we went to the length and breadth of the country within military, police, immigration, and also various security institutions. In the report, I think it's prudent. Our men and women in uniform should be of charge of their duties. And that would not be possible if, for example, their state environment is not in line. So I believe, as per the report, it has talked about their living condition. And I think it's high time for it to be augmented. And again also, looking at the general output of the military, again also, another pertinent thing that is of importance, the delay of promotions. You will see, I think it's not fair, and they need to be considered in that regard also. Then another important thing that the committee has also cited, border demarcation, is enormous and important. Our region, and also you talk of the other south part of the country, to see a trajectory move in that end. And also in the military fatality, TACOS is a thing that they normally, but it's still lingering around. So it's also very prudent for it to be part and parcel included. On that regard, Honorable Speaker, I think, the report is a good one, and we believe we will have subsequent reports in our assembly sitting. Thank you very much.
Where is the table clerk? Member for Kiang West. Sorry.
Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, please.
Am I continuing or you are allowing the observation?
Yeah, please sit down. What's your observation?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I have a suggestion on the report. I think we need to have the membership of the committee before the members who attended. And my name was omitted. I'm part of the committee, but I and Honorable Sar are not in the jurisdiction. We traveled out of the country, which he joined the tour at the second leg of before the end of the first leg, and I promised to join the second leg, but my name was omitted.
Okay, Honorable, yes, we will come there during the debate. I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Defense and Security on the committee's visit to security installations and facilities across the country in November 2022. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate may do so now, beginning with the member for Kiang West. Nominated member Fatou Kejawara, we will, before adopting it, we will take into account of your concern.
Honorable members of the Defense and Security Committee, I also thank you very much for taking the challenge to go around the country and look at security issues, going to barracks and all the security sectors to look at the challenges that we have as a country. I think the major challenge we have in the country today as it stands is a security issue. And the security issues that we have cannot be addressed if the institutions responsible to regulate our security issues for us are not taking the issue serious. Every year, year in, year out, allocations are made in this very parliament for food allocation, for prisoners, for food allocations, for men and women in uniform at various barracks. And that the same parliament is going round and your respondents are telling you that we don't have sufficient food here. What do we do as parliament when that happens? When we make allocation here to go to those men and women in uniform, sometimes we debated here and said we should give guns to our men and women in uniform. We think that's the protection. We have seen it in the report that at the Navy, where drugs are stored, the roof is leaking. The roof is leaking. There are no enough beds at their wards. And we think we just have to station them at a checkpoint and give them a gun. That's their protection. It's way beyond that. There is a lot that needs to be done as far as security sector is concerned. And security sector reform does not necessarily mean that we have to bring in a new member to command an office. No. We have laws that are absolute and they are captured in the report. And we cannot do away with those laws now. What is wrong with the institutions coming with a law? If they are telling us that their legal provisions are absolute, now what do we do with them? When it does not serve its purpose, when you have a law that does not serve its purpose, what do you do with the law? It does not have any use. You bring in a new bill to this parliament and we look at it so that our security sector can be a security sector that protects the citizens of the country, that also protects the security personnel. Honorable Speaker, you're looking at on the Navy. When I looked at the report last night and I went through, I realized that Navy do not have any communication tool at all. At all. No that's what the report tells us. No communication tool at all for Navy. No wonder this is why our young people can escape our waters without noticing. But it's unacceptable. We want to question if our security sector is definitely monitoring our waters or not. But how can they appropriately, sufficiently, and effectively monitor our waters when they do not have communication materials? They cannot communicate. Even if they want to communicate, there are serious threats on our waters, they cannot communicate. And they don't also have boats. The boats that they have are old, which is not safe to sail with. What do we do as a country? This is happening in our country, and the allocation for these materials are done in this parliament. I remember during this budget session that we are currently on, we increased the allocation for fuel as far as Navy is concerned. So why can they go on patrol? Because they don't have allocation. We need to find out where is these funds going into. Honorable Speaker, burning refuse near the prisons and the smoke is disturbing the prisoners is deliberate. It's very deliberate. Whoever does is very deliberate. You know that our men and women, our inmates in the prisons need to be free. And they need to have good air to breathe. And burning refuse around that premises is very deliberate, and we should not accept that. Whoever does that, the person did it deliberately, and we need to put the person to tax to stop that immediately. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
The member for Bakau. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm not participating in this debate simply because time is not giving for us to go through the reports. And I'll use the opportunity to express my disappointment with the Office of the Clerk and whoever is responsible. Honorable Speaker, we have 7 reports that are featured in this morning's agenda of the day. 7 reports. Sorry? For today. 7 reports that we are to consider this today. How can we justify these reports when we just received these reports this morning? Honorable members, we have to be very fair with ourselves. Honorable Speaker, I'll repeat myself again. I'll express my disappointment with the office of the clerk and whosoever is responsible. We cannot be given 7 reports this morning and expect us to perform our duties effectively, honorable members. Honorable Speaker, I think we have to be very genuine if we are to perform our duties effectively. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I think I have to take my seat and allow members to take their part. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Member for Serekunda West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would say a few things, but however, I want to also align myself, not 100%, but at least 65% to Honorable Ture. Because really having 8 reports on one day, 7 reports on one day, you cannot really digest all and debate effectively on those on the content. It's too much. And for me, I'm not blaming the Office of the Clerk. I am blaming the ABC, the Assembly Business Committee. They are the one who overloaded us. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, I really want to commend the Defense and Security Committee. They've done a good job. Their job and the committee for Standing Committee on Human Rights sometimes overlaps. Because we too visit prisons, we visit police stations. The challenges are the same. And this is year in, year out. I really don't know whether we are just wasting money, because these committees roll out at a cost of the taxpayers. We come back, we find the same things in the police stations and the army. We give recommendations, and nothing comes out of these recommendations. Every year, same recommendations. I think we have to change our strategy. We have to change our position of operations. You have given very good recommendations. You cannot keep officers in stations, and you don't give them enough food and facility. How can they operate? We have traveled as far as Patoto, and the police station almost empty. Not even a rifle. So I think what we need to do is the two committees need to put our heads together and then look at all the recommendations, make sure that at least 5 of those recommendations are carried out. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, member for Serekunda West. I now give the floor to the member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And I equally want to thank the Standing Committee on Defense and Security for coming out with this brilliant report. Honestly, when it comes to issues of defense and security, people like me are always proud of those that we put in front, despite the fact we lack the knowledge in this area. But I believe those that we put there, especially those in the Defense and Security Committee, have done justice so far to the mandate that we've given them. So I want to thank you very much. And I could recall during the 5th legislature, similar reports were laid here with similar recommendations. And as the Honorable Member for Serekunda West have rightly said, some of these issues just keep repeating. But first of all, Honorable Speaker, if you look at it, it all boils down back to resources, resources, resources. That's where the problem lies. So I think it is a lesson for all of us as members of the National Assembly who are responsible of appropriating funds that we prioritize security when it comes to budget and budgetary issues. Despite we have other issues like some of the social sectors, but security cannot be compromised at all levels. If we want to have development, if we want to sleep in peace, and of course, if we want our properties and lives to be protected, we will have to put in resources into the security sectors. And then I just want to ask the mover of the motion whether in your interventions have you have a convergence with the responsible authorities by either the Ministry of Defense or the Ministry of Interior regarding the issues of the security sector reform, because this is an issue that have been coming up. What is the stage of the security sector reform? Because it's something that is most needed by the Gambia. And I don't know also whether you've gone into details of other issues like some of the internally generated revenues by some of these ministries, and like, let's say, the Gambia Police Force, the Army, and so on. It's important that we also put our eyes into some of these things, because we have officers all over the country. Of course, we have the top brass there, but many a times, some of these internally generated revenues need to be controlled. We need to put an eye into them to see how they are spent and how they are managed within them, because it's important. We give them resources, but with little also they can have within themselves for it to be managed judiciously. And as I said, budget allocations can never be enough as we keep doing recurrent budgeting. Coming from CRR North, I know for certain, for sure, when I look at some of the stations that you visited there, these are the facts that you found there. Like for instance, the member of SAME was just telling me, the whole of CRR North, there is no fire station. I told him, you are very right. If an unfortunate incident happened there with regards to fire, we'll have to resort to either Bajakunda, or you go all the way to Frafenye, or Bansang come and help. So fire station is definitely needed in the CRR North. But I just want to agree more with your recommendations. And finally, Honorable Speaker, I want to urge the Defense and Security Committee to please follow up with all these recommendations with the relevant sectors, with the relevant ministries, with the relevant departments as far as the implementation of this recommendation is concerned. The standing orders are very clear. After sometimes, the responsible ministries will come back here, give reply to some of these recommendations. Then from that, the Defense and Security Committee can take it up from there. Then we see what we can do. And I want to urge all honorable members to join the Defense and Security Committee for us to continue advocating for this, because without peace, nothing is possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the member for Nyanija. I now give the floor to the member for Same.
Thank you very much, the Speaker, for giving me the floor. Thank you very much, Defense and Security Committee, all the members, support staffs, for a good work that you have done, because it is not easy to go around to look at these security institutions. If you look at your report, Honorable Speaker, they mention so many challenges in these security sectors. Since colonial time up to date, we are talking about these challenges. Honorable Speaker, you know, one thing we have to prioritize, Honorable Speaker. Even as the head of the compound, you know that you don't have everything. You have to prioritize. Likewise, the government also have to prioritize. If you go and visit some of these securities where they are staying, especially those at the provinces, their accommodation, if you go there and see, you'll be surprised. And those securities are still under those hardships. And the personals are seeing them. No mobility, no good accommodation. So you cannot compare those securities to those around here. There are mobilities all over here. But at the rural areas, when there are incidences, even if you call them, before they come for those culprits, they run away. So I think we should prioritize. This is what I said. Honorable Speaker, you know, sometimes when you are given a report, you have to look at so many things. I want to thank the Honorable Member for Nyanija. Look at the whole CRR North. The whole CRR North, there is no fire station. From Barangar up to Sami, up to Sandu, no fire station. Only in Bajakunda, maybe, they say they have a fire station. But there is fire, is there? So these are things. The government should look at those things. We should not be repeating the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, every year, the same thing. That's why the Defense Committee, in fact, should put this in their report. As the Honorable Member for Nyanija said, the government should start thinking of, at least we have a fire station in CRR North. The government should think about that. And the committee should start seeing some of these things. Honorable members, let's ask ourselves, if we want passport, where do we go to? Banjul. And we are all seeing that. And the committee, their recommendation, I saw it in their report, one of their reports, they said it's a challenge, but they don't put it there in their recommendation. And this is what they should put it there. We want decentralization, Honorable Speaker. For colonial days, everything in Banjul. These are things that affect our people, the voters. Every time you want passport, you come to Banjul, they tell you that the machine had a problem. The committee should tax the government to say that we want good machines to print this passport, or they prioritize URR or CRR. They have one there. You see, so thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the member for Lower Salo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. In that regard, I must thank the committee on their good job. And again, to register my dissatisfactory on the budgetary session that we have already passed, because all these issues should be addressed during the budget. But then members were not allowed to do the right thing. Only one person is taking the lead of doing...
No. Member for Lower Salo. Members for Lower Salo.
Honorable...
Member for Lower Salo, you cannot say members we are not allowed to do the right thing. That statement is not correct. Please.
Honorable Speaker, yes, I was here up to 5 a.m. What has transpired during the budgetary of the committee, because members raised 20 million to give to security for vehicles, because they were tied up. They can't do nothing absolutely. And this budget was the worst budget since I begins in this parliament. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, if we want to develop this country, where people will remind you've been the chair, you've been the Speaker of the House, when good article things has done during your time and my time. It's where your legacy will be remembered by the people, you and I. But if things are doing the way things were in those times, things cannot go. Members are voted in to do the right thing. This could have addressed during the budget, when the majority said we give 20 million to security for vehicle. It's for ourselves. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker. But all these recommendations is attached with allocations of monies. But we cannot do it. And the budget has already gone. So this thing has to wait until next budgetary session again, which we will never do it. And this, what you have put in your recommendation, these are basic needs of securities. Without this means we will use our men and women just to put on uniforms on gears. We call us defense. For you people, you have done the right thing because you were taxed to do the job, which you have gone throughout the nation to see the problems. And the problems, they must solve by allocation of monies that we have already passed the session. Honorable Speaker, members should allow to express themselves. Members, they should allow giving them right to do whatever they want to do, because this budget is the heart of the country. Without this budget going right, nothing will go, because you can see all this, what you have recommended is good, but monies are not there. Now, what is the budget? I think we could have made all this fund available, because already you people know it. You have added, how to call it, 18 million, and other institutions. You understand? But these were not issues that are coming up. And members, we are tied up. This is why this budget session was the worst so far since 2017 to date. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you go to Sierra North, no vehicle. No vehicle. The member said fire and recruits. You will never have that one in Sierra North. You will never. Because the thing that should make you to get it is not factored in the budget. Where are they going to get the money? And is this budget that will make Gambian to live, that will make Gambian to die? And which I have seen, this budget is the worst. Because you cannot do anything. You are tight. Since in the morning, you can see.
Honorable,
at the end of the day, we have only...
Honorable member, please confine yourself to the report.
Honorable, I am doing so because they are all budgetary, how to call it, connected issues. And we have passed the budget.
No, you are hiding behind the report and talk about only the budget. Talk about the report. Honorable, your time is up.
Speaker.
No, I didn't use any of your time. I can give you 30 seconds to wind up.
Honorable Speaker, these 30 minutes, members should be given chance to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Lower Salem. As I said, it was wrong to say that members were not allowed to do the right thing. And in your statement, you talk about they should be allowed to do whatever they want. They should do whatever they want within the confines of the law. Thank you. The member for Brikama South, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I want to thank the committee for going around to the country to visit security installations and border posts. I think this is a very important exercise, which I want to applaud the committee, more especially for visiting the southern part of Brikama, the 𝒊𝒏 border post. I think this is a big achievement as far as this committee is concerned. And currently, I think this is one of the contentious issues, border posts in the country. Your visit to this place is very important. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the challenges that are embedded in the 𝒂𝒊𝒏 border post, it's in two dimensions. One is in the area of the conditions and the support to the securities in these areas. The other one is a national dimension, the issue of border. So if you look at the challenges, one that is talking about unlawful entry of Senegalese soldiers into our territory. I think this is a very important challenge, and it still continues to be a challenge. But I don't know whether you've went up to that extent in engaging, since it's a border issue. I believe even some of the local authorities should be engaged to give you a feedback to this particular issue. One thing I know when it comes to this particular border post, the pull factor of attracting the Senegalese soldiers into our country is one 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 who is in the midst of the Gambia claiming to be an alkali. And since it has been established that he's a known Gambian, one of your recommendations should capture this man should face a deportation. Because many a time they came with this ammunition with the pretext that they are coming to visit their own alkali that is recognized by their own president. So this is a problem. And the second interesting part you talk about, that's the issue of the strategic border location. I really like this issue. That area is regarded as a buffer. And currently, there are a lot of development coming from their end. And this is where we have a problem, because the area is now regarded as a buffer, but the recommendation is the development in that particular area by the two countries should cease. And I think I was expecting that one also as a recommendation. Going forward from the even the immigration side, the challenges, they talk about porous border. But even I was expecting a compliance, since tentatively we cannot stop the entry of the Senegalese border. Their level of compliance has become a problem, especially when you come to this immigration border post. So I was expecting that you will also put that as one of your recommendations. Honorable Speaker, the border post issue, there are a lot of development going on this buffer that we accepted. I went there myself with the two ministers of the security denominations to discuss this issue. But if it has been captured here as a recommendation, I think that will also help the ministry to fast-track these issues. And it's unfortunate none of them are here. I don't know whether they are represented. But I really thank you for going to this border post, because it's a time bomb. Preparation of our soldiers with weapons is not going to be an issue that is going to be very easy, because we are not drawing the battle line. But strategically, we can avert this problem by deporting 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 outside the country. Secondly, the bone of the contention, the buffer, we should cease from developing that particular area until when it has been formally demarcated. I thank you for your effort of visiting this particular area.
Thank you very much, member for Brikama South. I now recognize the member for Sanementre.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, having gone through the report of the Committee on Defense and Security for their countrywide tour on security institutions, Honorable Speaker, I observe there is a general issue, which is insufficient fuel for patrol operations for security personnel. Honorable Speaker, looking at the security sector of our country now, it's definitely disheartening and fearing. As you can hear, attacks somewhere, personal attacks. With regards to my own constituency, which is 𝒂𝒊𝒏 constituency, at times, on 2 occasions or more, there are attacks, personal attacks. Of course, if we can all remember that some police officers were killed, and again, someone was killed at the same juncture, and again, some people were attacked on several occasions at the same time. I think we need to, because I definitely concur with you, Honorable Speaker, having said that the invitees should have come and listen attentively to the recommendations done by the Committee on Defense, which is very, very key. But sometimes I'll keep on asking myself, when we have such events or such things in the Parliament, do we talk to ourselves? I think they have to put this as a very serious thing in order to be present, at least to hear what or to listen to the recommendations that various committees might be recommending. And also, Honorable Speaker, with the issue of transportation, with regards to buses, there is no transport allowance for security personnel traveling for official duties in the combos. How do we expect them to do their functions effectively? This is part of the things that we should also put into consideration. The subvented institutions will do their claims or will do their bilateral with the Ministry of Finance, and of course there will be recommendations by the Ministry of Finance in the budget where there will be budget lines, and we provide allocations or the approval for those allocations. How is this subvented institutions? How do the Minister of Finance allocate this money? I think we need to prioritize certain things, because these are key things that we need to consider. Honorable Speaker, the same no perimeter fence and electricity for Fatoto Camp rather. Honorable Speaker, when you think of security, before someone protecting you, I think the person needs to be protected first. When those people are not protected, and we are saying our security personnel are not having weapons to protect themselves, and we are saying the security people now, especially at the Fatoto camp, the fence is not...
Honourable Member, is Fatoto or Kafuta Tumbung?
No, I saw Fatoto in the report. Of course, I saw Fatoto in the report.
The military post that is without electricity is Kafuta Tumbung and fence. Yeah, go ahead, proceed.
I saw Fatoto in the report and there is no perimeter fence. I think if you can go through the report and there you will see it. There is no perimeter fence at Fatoto. And, well, wherever it happens to be anyway, whether Fatoto or Dumbuto or anywhere, they need to be secured, of course. When the security camp is not fenced, and there is also a recommendation of, I think we need to look into that. These are things that need to reflect in the budget for subvented institutions. And also, there is also, for the barracks rather, and then also there is no, for the PRU unit, there are a lot of areas because of inadequate funding. And this one also, I suppose this needs to be looked at seriously, because I think if we don't try to reflect these ones, or these things are not reflected in our budget, I think Gambia will move on areas upon areas. Most of the institutions, with regards to the, this one, yes, but there are other institutions that there are areas between the ministries and the line institutions. And this, we need to look at this, and then this needs to be reflected in the budget so that we can regularize. Otherwise, we will fall on areas upon areas. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the member for 𝒂𝒊𝒏. I now give the floor to the member for 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏.
I'm lost today. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Though I'm not fine today, I'm sick, but I have to join the fellow honorable members to debate on this important report, which is the report of the Select Committee of Standing Committee of the Defense. I would like to thank the Defense Committee for doing this great job. It's really very important on the job they did to go outside the different military barracks or different security sectors offices to look on the problems happening in this country or the challenges they are facing. Honorable Speaker, it's very sad to see that a person who is there to serve this nation or to secure human beings in the country or the properties in the country is not having whatever the person wants, especially food. A hungry soldier is like a hungry lion. You cannot leave our soldiers to be hungry while serving this country. They cannot do the job properly. I checked this report on the challenges. I saw something like insufficient food allocation, insufficient accommodation, poor lack of vehicles. How do you expect those people to do their job? We are having a lot of problems in this country. We are not secured at all. Too much of murderers killing people everywhere. Recently, we see something very bad in this country which have never even happened. Someone go and dig a graveyard to use that woman because of the country is not properly secured. If the country is not secure, we should be expecting many, many bad things happening in the country. Who's supposed to secure us are suffering. How on earth do we expect us to be secured when the people who are supposed to save us are hungry? They are sleeping on bed with bed bugs. It's very sad. If you go to the military barracks, like Fajara barracks or infantry battalion, you see some of them, they are bed. You won't even believe to yourself that a human being will sleep there. But this is what our brothers and sisters are facing. In the name of serving this country, in the name of securing the country. But they are hungry, without food. The place where they sleep is not even clean for a human being to sleep, Honorable. Honorable Speaker, this is very painful and it's very sad. The people serving, the people working in those military barracks, they are our own brothers and sisters. Poor salaries. Every time they have to beg for leave. You expect that person to serve you without fear or favor or to serve you properly. Honorable Speaker, I swear to the Holy Quran in this parliament that I will serve the Gambia without fear or favor, ill will or affection, and I will never relax. I don't even rely on Defense Committee. I do my investigation, and I realize that these people, they are sleeping in a bed that nobody will expect a human being will sleep there. The food, you cannot even, how can you give fish to a soldier without a gun, without anything, and you expect that person to serve? In fact, I always think of who prayed this country for us. These prayers has really cut, because without proper praying, I know this country will be finished one day. We are not safe at all. Our president will be going like the soldiers who are supposed to secure are standing without gun. We are not safe as a country. And we expect them to be serving this country like that. I am even happy that the Deputy Speaker of the Gambian Parliament is the chair to the Defense Committee. I expect you to do your job very well, to make sure you give them whatever they want. We don't expect to come back and see this kind of report in 2024 or 2025. This problem needs to be settled and once for all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the member for 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. I wish Parliament give me all the monies that I need to give to the defense and security. But in the meanwhile, I want to thank Parliament because last year you made a difference, and I'm sure the members will highlight that following our intervention that was after our tour, and you instructed, and then you gave us few millions. Today they are rehabilitating the Serekunda fire station, and we are fencing the perimeter fence of 2 military barracks, and of course finish for a accommodation and doing orders also. The member for Funyi Bintang, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I want to join the member for Bakau and the member for Serekunda West and member for Lower Salem. These are people that stand and they speak the truth. And the truth may be bitter sometimes, but it's necessary and should be listened to and must be listened to. Because you cannot give us 7 reports in that very, very day and want us to debate properly on those reports. It will never be effective. Direct to the topic, security is life because they protect life. Security is the strength of a nation, and that is important for you to note. The security of our country, without delaying of the report, we have seen the conditions that they are in. And this, we need no Jewish prophet to tell us, or any fortune teller. These are the real life situations that we have seen them in. You and I will not be happy for our brothers and sisters to be in the Gambian forces. You and I will not be happy for our brothers and sisters to be in the police force, both in the fire service and prison sector. The reason is that we are not paying them well in terms of their salaries, in terms of uniform, in terms of their transport allowance, in terms of their other emolument. I think as a country, we can do better if we want to do better. No doubt. It is sad to talk about this. When we have the 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 soldiers here, we have given them everything, whatever they wanted. And the 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 soldiers will never cry for anything because they are satisfied. So we brought 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 soldiers here. I was thinking like, you are going to capture in the report that we don't want 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 soldiers any longer. All the resources that we have, we want to use it for the Gambia Armed Forces and for our security sector. That was my thinking. But then, it is important to note that the mattresses that are in those stations, you and I will not want our brothers to sleep in those mattresses. And the situation there is devastating. As he rightly said, you look at them on the road. In fact, they cannot afford fares for them to pay. And all the security sectors should have enough bus for transport and related things. And their salaries, I am with the conviction that in this country, nobody should be paid $100. And what we are paying them is less than $100. Far less than 100, some of them, far less than $100. How do we expect them to survive? It is a sad reality. And this is the situation that we are facing. And I believe we can better the situation. Looking at the checkpoints, like the member for Serekunda West stated, we went to the checkpoints, and other checkpoints, even one AK-47, you cannot have it there. The world is moving away from AK-47. We are talking about nuclear weapons that the Gambia, in fact, needs. Because the strength of a country lies in your weapons, lies in the armed forces, lies in the security. Today, if Gambia is to have nuclear weapons, we will be respected worldwide. It is a needed thing. So this is why, as a country, we should be thinking in that direction. I know it may be funny to you, but that is the way the world is moving. And the border. We have called this parliament many a times, we have said it here, that the borders need to be demarcated. The Senegalese soldiers will leave, and they will not notice that it is border. Deliberately come into our territory. Deliberately come into, do whatever they feel like and go back to Senegal. We could not even differentiate whether these are 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 or soldiers from Senegal. It is a sad reality. And this joint patrol that you are having with the Gambian soldiers, joint patrol going inside the Casamas, we are sacrificing our soldiers. So we should not sacrifice our soldiers in those deadly zones. That we should put a stop to. The Navy, without fuel is not there. How can they patrol? How? How do we want them to function? For the fact that time have betrayed me, I thank you.
Thank you very much, member for Fonyi Bintang. I now invite the member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we must realize that it is the responsibility of the government to chart a way forward for wealth creation. We must create wealth so that the government itself can be able to get resources, revenue, to be able to provide services. But this is a government that intends to provide only services and is reluctant to go into the productive base of the economy. And this is the key problem why our services cannot be adequately addressed. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the fire services, you will realize that the development budget relating to providing fire ambulances to all the fire stations across the country, what is allocated is just 1.5 million. We all know even one ambulance cannot be bought for 1.5. They are very expensive, which means we are relying on donors to give us fire ambulances. If you look at maintenance of buildings for fire stations across the country, what is allocated is 3.5. So I will urge the committee to work with the Ministry of Interior to ensure that at least what is allocated here for development on the fire services be provided to them so that they'll be able to improve their situation. Honorable Speaker, if you also look at the situation, we are dealing with uniforms. You know, the uniform of the fire service workers is different from ordinary uniforms. They are made for protective clothing. I don't see how a fire service person will go and fight fire without uniform. That would be very dangerous. I don't think any of us will want to go near fire without any protective gadgets. And if you look at the situation also, you will see that, you know, they are talking about gadgets. They don't have gadgets. If firefighters don't have gadgets, how would they perform? How would they actually perform? They will not be able to perform. So all those things are so important. We cannot put our men and women to go and fight such things like fire without having to provide them with the necessary materials to defend themselves. Honorable Speaker, also, if you look at, you know, the member of SAMI is clamoring for a fire station, but the Woolly East has a fire station. Right now, there is not a single fire and rescue ambulance in that place. There are no hydrants established in that place. How will those people fight fire? At some point, because of donors, we are able to have 2 fire and rescue service ambulances. And when they were there, one of them was borrowed and given to somewhere in Western region. It went into an accident, and then it was totally destroyed. The other one was taken there. Eventually, it was removed and brought here. You know, now there is no fire ambulance for Sandu, for Woolly East and West. The station is just there, and we put people there, officers there, but they are not doing anything. And several fire, outbreaks took place, but they were just there. You tell them, they say, well, we have nothing to do. So they could not do anything. So really, this is very important things, and we must not take them lightly. We must ensure that the minister is in the know, so that he takes the necessary steps to ensure that these stations, they serve the purpose for what they are. Otherwise, we are just putting people. That's why emoluments went to that level. Personal emoluments took the chunk. But if you look at what those people are doing in the various sectors, we are not doing much. because they are just, most of them are just sitting down. Many of them are just sitting down. Let me say it that way. They are just sitting down and they are not acting, they are not adding value to the things that we want. So I think this is a very important report. It is a combination of reports. It is even important that the committee can just go, just for the fire service. Just go across the country and just report on the fire services. Then next time, you go for the police. Next time, you...
Thank you very much, the member for Woolly East. I now give the floor to the member for Ileasa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, let me first of all thank the committee for doing a wonderful job touring the country from Katong to Koina. Honorable Speaker, in fact, security is paramount and it should be a concern to everyone. And I think it is a concern to this government, and it will continue to be a concern to this government. Honorable Speaker, during the tour, the committee realized numerous of problems in the various security sectors, ranging from porous borders, mobility challenges, lack of communication gadgets, lack of uniform supply. These are problems, some of the problems that we realized during the tour. But after the tour, there is improvement in some of these areas. I think we can all realize that. And then come next year, there will be a lot of improvements in these sectors. I think that has been factored in the budget. So, but definitely, it is a concern to the government to make sure that there is improvement in the security sector. And then the government is ready to do that. So for that being the case, so far, Honorable Speaker, the government ultimate aim is to make sure that the country is secured and that it is doing all it can do to make sure that our security sector, we give them the necessary tools so that they can help us to secure the country. So for Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much, Member for Ileasa. Indeed, there is improvement. This year on the food and food services for the Gambian forces, in addition to the budget, government decided to add 25 million to that budget line item. In addition to what they have over 100 million plus. So that one is okay. And also on the development, last year there was 0 on the military barracks, and we put 19 there. Government maintained it, and we add something there. So for Banjul Central.
Point of order. Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Honorable Member for Woolly East, can we have point of order?
Yes, I'm rising on a point of order 26.4. Honorable Speaker, the Speaker shall not take part in any debate before the Assembly. And you are continually debating. When you want to debate, you come down and then participate in the
Order, order, please. Honorable Member for Woolly East, the Speaker have not participated in the debate. You are out of order. The member for Banjul Central, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would first of all like to thank the committee, Defense Committee, for doing the needful. That is their core mandate in going around the length and breadth of the country to perform this great oversight. Anyone that sees this report would definitely know that justice has been done to it. I would also like to vent my frustration in getting this document quite late, because it's part of our core mandate is scrutiny. And if you don't have enough time to be able to go through these documents, I don't think you will be able to make meaningful contribution. However, our security sector is a quite important entity in this country. So there are just few things that I just highlighted that really are a cause of concern. If you check the Gambian Navy, for example, it says here part of their challenges, there is no radar for 3 boats at the Banjul port. So that's very concerning. Because if you guys, if you take a look back a couple of months ago, since we have signed very bad contracts with regards to, how our seas are, given out to foreign nationals, our navies also are mandated to take care of the seas. So if you do not have proper equipments to be able to, perform radaric, oversight in these areas, I think it will cause us much problems. Because even recently we saw a foreign boat that was even fishing, beyond their given perimeters. Had we had, these equipments, we would have been able to, foresee all these things. So these are all things that we really have to look into. And have seen also here lack of communication equipment. They are all part of the problems. And here, what beholds me is, it says here the medical storage room is leaking, warm and very dark, inappropriate to even store drugs. So a room that's supposed to store medical items is leaking. It doesn't make any sense. Medical products that are needed to actually cure those that are sick are even unsafe, I would say. That's what the report is saying here. And then, Honorable Speaker, I would also like to visit the Gambia Prison Services. Here it's saying part of the challenges, mobility is an issue. Everybody knows, because most of us here give them lips when we are going. It's a cause of concern. There are only 2 programs operating now in the whole prison center. The prison cells are congested for both male and female wings with no ventilation. The toilet facilities are not very conducive, among others. So one wonders, is this a rehabilitation center? Is it a correctional facility? Or is it a death camp? It doesn't make any sense. And then you have a dump site just behind it. I think it's high time. It's usually a taboo that, a sitting president should not, in this local tradition, should construct a prison. But I think it's high time we really revisit having a new prison system here in this country. This is deplorable, Honorable Speaker. And just to sum things up, I've seen here also part of the recommendation, the conclusion, inadequate food and food services, delayed promotions, inadequate accommodation for personnel, among other things. I think, like all my other honorable members have made mention, the security sector is a very, very important sector. And part of the repercussions of all these things is if what they are supposed to have is inadequate, they will prompt to inducements, and they'll be hostile. Most of us complain that the way these security personnel treat us are very hostile. These are all part of, their conditions. So I think the security sector reform needs to be really looked into. Though we have a general overview, but at least we should start putting in strategic methodologies as to how to combat these things. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, the member for Banjul Central. I now give the floor to the member for Bundung Kakunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I also want to join my colleagues to thank the committee for the wonderful work they've done. But equally, I want to recognize stakeholders, that our stakeholders under the election bill, they are all here. I want to acknowledge their presence, officials from the IEC and Minister of Justice, just to, put the record straight. Our stakeholders are here.
So, Carol, we have seen
that they are not from the stakeholders of the report. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, because they are our potential stakeholders, so we must, recognize their presence here. So basically, coming to the report, I think the committee did what they're supposed to do, and the purpose of the report is for the, is for them to, for us to have challenges and recommendation, and mostly it's through the challenge you come up with your recommendation. And recommendation is always very sweet for people to put it across. But I think the committee took time to go round. And going round costs money. So for that being the case, sometimes what is important is whenever we lay a report, committees should start trying to track the recommendation with their relevant ministries or institutions. Because during the budget session, if they complain inadequate fuel allocation, lack of mobility, is already known. But equally also it's important for head of those institutions also to initiate. Because at the end of the day, maybe it might be a challenging issue for them to get everything, but you need to initiate and come up with a strategy wherein on annual basis you come up with something. Because on the side of the fire service, those people, I think we really need to look at them and consider them very well, because they deal with disaster, especially fire and other related disasters. So for them to be equipped, I think is very, very important. And basically, I understand the Serekunda Fire Service, they are renovating it and it's very important. And equally also, I will prefer, maybe based on the recommendation and the management, the senior servicemen, to start thinking how they can get more firefighters in the country. Because currently, even within our region in KMC, we only have one truck that is, working. So, and normally sometimes whenever you call them to a scene, they will in fact try to tell you, oh, we have to rush because they might call us anytime. So this is about security. When we talk about security, it's not only about the police or the, security is about all of them. And we know they are the ones who are taking care of us. So basically we need to look at them, but equally they also have a responsibility. That is their leadership, for them to come up with strategies to ensure that at least their needs have been known to us as parliamentarians, so that we, at the end of the day we can give them the resources. Equally to the demarcation, I think this is very important, and it falls under our committee. This is why this budget session we were able to even add more resources for them, so that we can address this demarcation issue. Because as we know, we have Senegal and Gambia, we are neighbors, and I think we should work together as partners or as neighbors to address this border issue. Because at the end of the day, we are one, and we shouldn't allow this border issue to, at least create some conflict between the two countries. So for that being the case, I want to thank the committee once again for the wonderful, but keep tracking the recommendations, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Member for Bundonkakunda. I now give the floor to nominated Member Fatou Kejawara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I think I'm going to have a very limited intervention because this is our report and we have an engagement with security personnel. Even after the tour, some of the concerns raised by members were already dealt with, Honorable Speaker, but notwithstanding, I'm just going to throw my weight on some of the things in the report, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think our security institutions need to be well equipped. They need to be well equipped with not only weapons, but their standard of living, their accommodation, among others, need to be considered. Honorable Speaker, the criminal world is moving faster than us. We should not only be saying that our men in uniform should be given armory. We should give them modern equipment that need to handle modern conflict. Honorable Speaker, the incident that occurred a few months ago, the shooting of police officers, is still a concern for me, because these are the men that we rely on for them to save us. If these men are not safe and secure, then it means that the country is not secure. Honorable Speaker, how can we secure these men? What we are allocating in the budget should not be given to the senior cadres, but rather to these junior rankers. There is a great risk attached to their work. They are at the sun both day and night when we are at bed. Honorable Speaker, this junior police officer who were shot to death and the lady who is still in her hospital bed need to be considered. There should be a financial risk package for officers who normally get injured when they are serving the country. I can remember there was a lady, I don't know, I saw her on social media, one Aramata. She got an accident by trying to stop a driver who wanted to cross the convoy of the president. This lady is being lying in hospital for a while. Later, she was evacuated to Turkey. And I raised the concern to many security officers for her to get assistance. I think these are some of the things that need to be considered, and it could also motivate them when serving the country. And even those people who pass away, we should motivate their colleagues that this is the service that they signed for. But notwithstanding, those who pass away need to be accorded with National Hero Award, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, those two police officers and the lady, I must put the blame on some of the senior officers. I mentioned it to the IGP that if they have some technical training, some of the casualties would have been avoided. And the senior men also should be around to guide them and help them, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Jibora border post, when I went through the report, I heard that they said the security lightning system is imposing a threat to them, Honorable Speaker, which is very scary. Jibora is a border post that is always in conflict with other border areas. So I think to not have a light at that area is very scary. It needs to be addressed as immediately as possible, because they also raised a concern that the border issue with neighboring country is also creating tension both day and night. So I think if magnitude of such things are happening, they should have light and things that will save them in that surrounding, Honorable Speaker. The Kafutatumbum border post also mentioned about lack of armory. Honorable Speaker, as I alluded that I am not in support of seeing security personnel being armed all over. Though they need arms to save themselves, but they should not be armed all over. Because like this country went through a lot, and people are still healing. So the country is in his kneel before, and we're trying to get up. So to equip men with guns in the street sometimes is not supportive. We need modern equipment that will save them. They should have their this nice night vision goggles to help them to apprehend criminals, but not to be carrying weapons, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think we also need a national survey protection and prevention of crime within the interior also.
Honorable, I'm not sure if you need 30 seconds. You said you are going to do the shortest presentation because you are part of it. Can I give you 30 seconds or you are okay? Are you okay? Because women empowerment. Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. At first, I thought I could not participate in this debate, but going through the report, I would commend the committee just like other members did, but I think this report could have served as the basis of the bilateral that we did. Now that the budget has already been passed, so there is nothing much that we can do here, Honorable Speaker. I was one of the members who was advocating for the allocation of vehicles to the police officers. Honorable Speaker, the visibility of police officers in our communities will not only deter crimes in our communities, but it can also raise revenues, especially on traffic offenses. So, Honorable Speaker, like I said, most of these recommendations and challenges highlighted in this report is cross-cutting. So next time, before we have a budget session, I think we should lay such reports so that members can also have a better understanding of what is transpiring in the security sector. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, a member for Serekunda, and now give the floor to the member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Let me also use this opportunity to thank the committee, to the mover of the motion. As the NAM for Serekunda said, to me, this report should come before the budget bilaterals, or even after the budget bilaterals, before the estimate is laid in plenary here. Because by going over this report, I believe, even when you are part of the Defense Committee, if you look at the report, you will automatically agree that we need some adjustment for the security of all of us. We are all secured by Allah the Almighty, but then the security officers are here to protect the lives of this country. So it would have been better next time we lay these reports, such reports, before the budget is laid in plenary. And then I will, if you allow me, I go to the, on page 15 on the police intervention unit. They have highlighted almost 23 challenges, but I'm not seeing any recommendation from you. I have moved to your general recommendations, but then the police intervention unit, they have highlighted almost 23 challenges, but I have not seen any recommendation from the committee. So, you know, and then this is the only unit in charge of internal security in the country. So they have a lot of challenges. Again, I move to page 19 of the report. I think I said it here the last time during the budget. These border issues, like the Dasilame military post, you have seen what the military officers are complaining there. No perimeter fence for the camp, exposing them to serious security threats. You know, we all know what have happened for around Dasilame just a few months back. There is no electricity in the whole camp. But I believe this one, the committee should do something
a military camp without no electricity. We should do our best for that one to be addressed. They also said insufficient weapons considering the usual unlawful entry of Senegalese soldiers into the country. These things need to be looked at because this is our sovereignty and these people are here to protect our territory. So always I said, like we are part of the regional government committee and then the ministry is saying they want to roll out on this border to have a commission, a border commission, to control our borders, because our relationship with Senegal, we have to be very careful, but if these borders are not taken care of, we may lose control of it. So it's very, very important. If you go to also page 35 of the report, the Senoba border post, they have highlighted among their challenges, improper buffer zone in the border area. Here also, what have you recommended? I have not seen any recommendation. You have highlighted the challenges to say that improper buffer zone in the border area. But then I haven't seen any recommendation. What are you going to do with this? What have you advised them to do with this? This is very, very important. Because our borders, to be very frank, we have a lot of challenges there within the Gambia and our Senegalese neighbors. So, and then there are also, you have to come also with time frames. Don't just give recommendations to be vague like that, to be open like that. Give them time frames. Some issues need time frame.
Thank you very much, member for Jara West. I now give the floor to nominated member Maimouna Cissé.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I would like to start my intervention by acknowledging the Security Committee, Security and Defense Committee, for doing a very diligent job towards this report. Honorable Speaker, the only concern I have is it could have been better if there was enough room for us to go through this important document and given more time to dwell on it. Because there is a very, very serious concerns when it comes to the welfare of the security of this country. And we all know the security is very paramount. You cannot have a better society without having a better security. We need to try to modify our way of security in this country. The world is moving, and the Gambia is no exceptional. Honorable Speaker, we need to capacitize our securities in uniform, such as surveillance. Surveillance systems need to be a #1 priority, the way we are seeing our security trend. Access control also need to be considered. It's a sense of safety for the security themselves to perform their duty diligently when they know that they are capacitized and when they are going for their job, there is no security threat to their own life. Because securities are always a deterrent to the criminals. And now the criminals are more equipped than the securities. The West is more equipped when it comes to modern security gadgets, but still now they are facing the most security threat than anywhere in the world. So if those people are with all their gadgets, with all their superpower, they are not safe. I don't think Gambia is still now, we are not exceptional. Being in the case of that, we have to consider the plight of our securities in uniform. It's a shame to stand here, they are crying for food and food services, accommodations. This should be the minors they should be complaining of, especially food, the accommodations. There might be lack of the gadgets to operate, but their living conditions need to be better than what we are talking about right now. And to my surprise is, page 19, where there's a person stated that the security personnel don't have any retirement package after they are serving their life for their country is very pathetic. No retirement package for the military being serving this country? That's serious. That's very, very serious. I think next budget session we have to make sure that the security committee to come up with a proposal. If the securities are not coming or the defense are not coming with it, we need to make sure that those are slotted in because their life paramount and they need to have a protected life after their military service. Don't observe me, there's no time, please. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, coming to the prisons. The prisons is very decongested, but the world is all about learning. I learned something which I never occurred because it was part of my recommendation that the government should come with a proposal or a policy to build a new facility for detention centers. Prisoners are not only to be in the prison to be punished, but they are also to be corrected. If you send somebody to be corrected, you have to give him a better service over there, a better skills. When he's out of that prison, he can be a better person. They need to be trained. Some of these people in the prison, they are none of them are, some of them are not a criminal. You have a criminal within their mix, but some are not criminals. So those are not in the line of that criminality. They need to be capacitated, they need to be equipped. When they leave the prisons, they need to be on their self. Honorable Speaker, I don't have much time, but I would just like to be, the female prisoners also need to give in more considerations. Sometimes they are needy, personal needy, it's not into the satisfaction. You will get so many complaints, and even sometimes when their families want to bring some stuff for them, they will find resistance from the prison officers, unless and until they does them something for them to smuggle.
Thank you very much, nominated member Maimuna Sise. I now give the floor to the member for Basse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I also have to join my colleagues in thanking the Standing Committee on Defense for taking their time and on tireless efforts, reaching out to all these camps and stations and giving them the opportunity to speak their minds on the difficulties and challenges they face in doing their job effectively. Honorable Speaker, looking at the general recommendations on bullet number 17, it reads that the National Assembly prioritize defense and security issues to enhance national security. My concern was, during the compilation of this report, whether these stakeholders or institution heads or the leadership were invited or called upon at least to attend these meetings so that some of the concerns or difficulties which these stations or members were facing in their areas, they put them to tax so that at least during budget sessions or during compiling their budgets, they will also put it under consideration. Because if they are not put into consideration, they will prioritize certain areas which is not a priority for that year. And I believe this visit was done in November 2022, and there was enough opportunity for them to be called upon and told them and tell them this is the areas, concerns, or difficulties your members or your stations are facing. And when preparing your budgets, please do considerations on those areas so that at the end of the day, it will be captured on their budgets and at least something must be done at the end of the day. Honorable Speaker, if my mind can recall me well, in 2023, there was a budget allocation for the purchase of vehicles for police and a boat for the Navy. And I don't know whether, or there is an update, because we are in December, whether these vehicles were purchased or this Navy boat were purchased. Because for the tourism or youth and sport, we allocated 3 million for tractor for GSI. Day in, day out, we follow them to make sure that tractor is been purchased. And right now, the tractor is almost been settled. And I believe most of these allocations should have been done so that they can follow. Because at times, if they doesn't follow up, they do environment, they don't put it into consideration. And every year, these committees will be going out, reaching out to these stations or camps or wherever. The same concerns will be repeated, year in, year out. And I'm appealing to members or committees, if concerns are raised, let's make sure we follow up to those institutions and to make sure those budget lines are implemented as expected. Honorable Speaker, there were also concerns raised by members or officials from the regions or other stations that when they come to Greater Banjul area, their allowances or their transport refunds are never given to them. And I think rule for one should be rule for all, where an officer will leave his office within the Greater Banjul, attend another meeting just nearby, he will be given a transport refund. And I think officials at far distance, those are the things you should do to motivate them to stay down there. Honorable Speaker, I think most of the concerns of these institutions should be put into considerations, especially the security sector, at least to ease the crime rate and other related matters, especially on the drug sides and the intelligence, so that they can work well and make this country a free crime rate country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Passy. And I give the floor to the member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And by extension, I want to seize this opportunity to thank the Select Committee on Defense and Security for a job well done in coming up with a report and also laying it before this plenary. Standing committee, rather. However, Honorable Speaker, security is not just a product, like the way most of us would have a view of it, but instead, security is about a process. And looking at this report, Honorable Speaker, I would start with Gambia Immigration Department before looking at any other sector. Looking at the challenges emerging from Gambia Immigration Department, which seems to be a very vibrant institution considering their contribution towards the economy of this country. But looking at what is being found in this report, more especially in the challenges, it seems we are giving them very, very little attention. And also, just of recent, we have a very pressing issue around Gambia Immigration Department. That is the agreement in between the department and SAMLEX. And that has went to an extent that SAMLEX has suspended the contract in between them and the GID in issuing national documents. So for me, this report should leverage the Gambia Immigration Department in getting them the required resources to be able to deliver as expected, and this has not been done. So for me, I still want to challenge the Committee on Security and Defense to look into that specific matter, because when it comes to national documentation is very, very important. And if they are challenged with that, then it means we are not still at a chance, we don't stand at a chance to regularize some of the difficulties we have. Let's look at the Gambia Prison Service. Honorable Speaker, for me, the Gambia Prison Service is one of the security units that I always commend. The reason being the police will always arrest a criminal, prosecute a criminal, and at the end of the day, hand them over to the prison officers with very, very minimal resources to do their work. But again, you know, they've been gifted to tame down some of these criminals, make them feel home within the prison yards, and also get them to have a very relaxing and peaceful mind. But again, if you look at that specific department or unit, you will realize that the government is doing very, very little for them. Let's look at how much these people are even paid per month. You will kind of cry. Some of them, when they go before the counter, after the 1/6 and all not, they go home with, let's say, $500 or $600 at the end of the month. And that is to say, we are really demotivating the work of the Gambia prison officers. Let's look at police, Gambia Police Force. In their challenges, or in the challenges that have been emerging, it has been repeated over and over that almost all of these units have a challenge with a vehicle. And not just a challenge with a vehicle, but also one thing that has been appearing is the issue of maintenance, the upkeep of their vehicles. And if you go to the Gambia Police Force, they have an engineering unit, and it seems they are not equipped. In the report, in fact, they said there is an engineering unit set up, but it cannot be operationalized because they don't have the needed resources. I want to challenge this committee to work with the Gambia Police Service to ensure that the engineering unit at the Gambia Police Force are equipped, and the vehicles that are bought from taxpayers' money will go on a routine maintenance than how it is. With the same Gambia Police Force, they said they don't have a vehicle.
Thank you very much, the member for Janjambure. I now give the floor to the member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I use this opportunity to thank member of Standing Committee Defense and Security, which I'm a member. Sorry, I'm sick today. Yeah. Anyway,
thank you very much for your generosity. I now give the floor to the member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will just want to seize this opportunity to join my fellow honorable members to commend the Standing Committee on Defense and Security of the Parliament for such a comprehensive report. And also going for the Honorable Speaker, I will just go straight to the challenges that is mentioned on the report for the Gambia Police Force. And one of the challenges is lack of vehicles for operations. Honorable Speaker, I can attest 2 months ago, there was a scenario that happened within my constituency, that is Banjul North constituency. When I received an information from some of my people that normally go to the beach to have their daily exercise and also other activities, that there was this mad woman who was sexually abused at the beach. So immediately when I received the information, I took it upon myself with some of the members of my constituency coordinating and planning committee and contacted 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏. And the information that was given to me was I should first of all liaise to police, then the police will facilitate and take the woman to 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏. When I went to the police headquarters, that is the main headquarters in Banjul here, I met the police officers that were on duty. Unfortunately, when I arrived there, I realized that after speaking to them, they said, unfortunately, they don't have any vehicle that they can use to go and collect the woman, after us locating the woman within the beach area. So what I had to do was, I had to use my own vehicle and take one of the officers with me. Then we went and negotiated with the mad woman. It was very difficult for us. We had to negotiate with the woman and put him inside my vehicle and take him to the police. So I believe the issue of this element, that is lack of vehicles for operation, is indeed a concern. And looking at this report, I will also join the member for Serekunda that this report should have come to Parliament before the budget session. There is clear justification that this report should have convinced members that it is important for us to do all what it takes to equip the security sector of this country. Because we are in need. Looking at this report is a clear manifestation of the realities that is currently happening as far as our security sector is concerned in this country. And Honorable Speaker, after saying that, going further, the issue of the Gambia prison services, it is also another concern. Looking at the Mile 2 prison center in Banjul, it is also part of my constituency. But sometimes it is very disheartening, especially looking at this report, that currently in that prison you only have 2 programs. With all the programs that we can, that is happening in this country in terms of TVET, we can only have 2 programs that are currently existing in this center, which is very unfortunate. The inmates there, some of them, to be honest, I am not here to judge or to say what took them there or to decide, because I am not the court who decides on that. But the fact of the matter is, I believe they deserve better. There are so many rehabilitation programs that can be in that center, so that when they come out of that center, they will be of people that will better represent and also better benefit the Gambian people and also contribute towards the development of this country. Are we looking towards that? So when I saw this report, to be honest, it is very disheartening, and the most disappointing aspect is the issue of the dump site, which is very unfortunate when it comes to the issue of health hazard. To be honest, we are here today very comfortable as honorable members. From here we go to our homes or any other function or any other place that we feel like. But these people don't deserve this. And that is the hard fact. You cannot say a prison center will be next to a dump site where they can be exposed to any health hazard, and we are not ready to do anything.
Thank you very much. Please wrap up.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think, to be honest, I really cannot sit down and not to do justice as far as this report is concerned. But notwithstanding, I think this should be an eye-opener to all of us and make sure that we do the needful as parliamentarians and better equip our security system and make sure that this country go forward as far as security is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now give the floor to nominated member Kebalang Fofana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when I walked into the chambers, I thought I was late and then I wouldn't be in a position to add my voice to whatever discussions were unfolding in the chambers today. But I was wrong. When I look at the report from the Standing Committee on Defense and Security, I realized that we have a lot of discussions to start. First, I would commend the committee for a job well done, and also encourage them to ensure that it doesn't stop here. Next year as well, let them have a comprehensive tour to all the institutions. And your tour was comprehensive because you visited the Gambia Police Force, you are at the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services, you have engagements with the Gambia Armed Forces, you had engagements with the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, you had engagements with the Gambia Police Force, you had engagements with the Gambia Prison Services, which means this document here is a security item. It's a national security booklet. And you've brought out the conditions as they are. And looking at those conditions, it seems like it is cross-cutting. From the Gambia Armed Forces to the Gambia Police Force to the prison services, the challenges are similar. Insufficient mobility, insufficient food and what? Food services, inadequate accommodation, staff welfare. You look at the militaries, the perimeters are porous, they are not being fenced. And when you look at the border posts around the country also, it means we are having what? Similar issues. Honorable Speaker, since I have 5 minutes, I would concentrate on the recommendations. They are brilliant. They are good. They are apt. But my only concern there is they are not time-bound. They are not time-bound. And in some cases, they serve as opinions. For example, when we say the Gambia government provides sufficient fuel to the security sectors, how do we ensure that this happens? Are we going to track it next year? But currently, 2024 is beginning. What do we do? The other one is the government address the perennial mobility challenges in all security institutions. When? How? Who is responsible? So it will be like when we pass this resolution, tomorrow it will be a headline, but there will be no follow-up mechanism. So, but that is our job as members. What I would recommend is, before adopting the report, let us make sure that it is target-oriented and also time-bound, so that we can derive the dividends of this brilliant report. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, nominated member Keba Lang Fofana. I now give the floor to the member for Latrikunda Sabi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I don't intend to take the entire 5 minutes. I will speak very, very quickly. My first intervention will be with regards to the prison. Honorable Speaker, you will agree with me, even you can go to prison one day, like any one of us here. The last time we visited the prison, it was very, very, very disturbing. When we visited prison, we met former ministers, we met former director generals of NIA, we met former army chief, etc., etc. So when we are presiding over the affairs of prison, we should always have at the back of our mind that any one of us can be there one day.
Honorable Falatikunda.
Yes?
Honorable Falatikunda, please sit down.
What?
Sit down, please.
No, I cannot sit down. I'm doing my president, Honorable Speaker. Don't bring issues, please.
Yeah, please sit down.
I am reinforcing the
I
report.
know. Please, just sit down.
Giving examples that we take care of the prison.
Okay, just
because
sit down.
anybody can be there. How is that an offense?
Please sit down.
No, tell me before. How is that an offense, please?
Take your honorable member, please. Read your standing orders, please. Honorable member, we are debating on a very important matter, and we must take our work seriously and avoid making statements that are seemingly irresponsible. Please, it's a very important matter that we are debating on.
And I want you to tell me how.
No, Honorable, please.
Is it not important for me to say, let's take care of the prison? Honorable Speaker, please,
please.
I don't want conflict, please.
Honorable, please sit down.
What is wrong for me to say?
Honorable, please, don't repeat that word. Sit down, please. Take your seat, please. Honorable, we are guided by rules, and you must exercise your function in accordance with the law. Please, and proceed. I don't need you to repeat it. Proceed.
As I said before, the prison is a very important institution that government officials should take very seriously, because anybody can go to prison one day. With regards to your recommendation number, where you mentioned we equip the police and the PIU with pistol and AK-47, I go contrary to this. I think the best thing we should do for our security service is to enable them to do their job effectively, is to increase their salaries, is to improve their working conditions, is to give them mobility. I always say this: if we arm our police that are not very professional, because to say the truth, our police are not professional because they lack capacity. If you give our present police setup PIU officers AK-47 pistol, they are going to turn against citizens. So I go contrary to what we should do in the first place is to make sure we increase their salaries, we give them proper living conditions, than arming them. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, please, give me an opportunity, please. I think the member for Latin should be using decorum. Can't say our police officers are not professionals. No, it's an insult, Honorable Speaker.
Please take a seat, sir. Any other honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate? Sorry. The member for Talinding Kunjang.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, today we are dealing with a very important matter in any country which can break or make a country progress. Security is a cross-cutting issue, and that is why it should be taken seriously. And then I want to start by referring the August body to one of the most important recommendation that we made, that is to say that the National Assembly prioritize defense and security issues to enhance national security. This is very fundamental. As a committee, yes, we have a delegated responsibility, but then the onus lies on the general body to ensure that whatever we come up with, all these challenges, all the comments that have been made, they are very valuable. But at the end of the day, they are cost attached. There are costs attached, and some of them are capital incentive. Okay, somebody said, I agree with in terms of planning, everything you do in terms of recommendation has to have time bound. But there are implications to this. Some of the recommendations are capital intensive, and they require resources, and then it has to go with government's envelope. Now, we know the financial constraints we are in, where all sectors are competing to have their issues addressed. The challenge is to come with a time bound that is going to affect the general operations of the whole security sector. So it is something, but if, as the August body decides to give it a time bound, then it's more welcoming. It's more welcoming, given the fact that we are the people who allocate resources. When the allocation of resources comes, we ensure that we maintain or we succeed in achieving those time bounds. That is very crucial. And then that's why also we have to consider that this report, at the time that the tour was conducted, it has taken a while before it is late. And some of the issues raised, the committee has taken serious steps in mitigating some of those challenges. As we speak now, some of them have been drastically addressed to some extent. Even the food we're talking about here, the issue cannot be the same anymore. The decisions that the committee did with the interventions of the chair, even the first year that we did the tour, even before that fiscal financial year ended, intervention of the committee was made to ensure that the food issue was addressed, even before the end of that fiscal financial year. And then this year also, with the intervention of the chair and the committee, and then you've seen the revised budget, how it is addressed to an extra 25 million, to ensure that this is a very important aspect of security. You cannot keep hungry people in barracks with guns and all these things, so it is important. But we know it's no longer going to be a challenge with the resource allocated in this budget line. Now, Mr. Speaker, communication is very important. We've gone around and seen the challenges in most of these security installations. Security cannot operate effectively without a very vibrant communication network. And in fact, that is why communication also is very expensive, let me tell you. Because it's very, security sector should not depend on private telecommunication for security, for communication. There's no security in that. You require a security telecommunication network that is used by security to convey their messages that is going to protect the information they are going to pass. And that is also capital intensive. But the committee, even though this year, in the Navy's budget or the Armed Forces budget, there are no allocations for communications, the committee was able to maneuver within their own budgets to do cuttings and prioritize, put something in there. Even though, according to them, this is capital intensive, but we have to do something. We have to start as a committee to do something. Because we've seen what is on the ground, and it has to be gradual. And the committee position was that we have to start something, and then there was some cuttings within their own budget lines to ensure that we remove the zero that was there. And that happened. You understand? So we're moving on gradually, and we ensure, we hope that some of the things that we have acted on, even before we led.
Can you please give him more time? Yeah, proceed, because you are making the work of the mover very easy. Go ahead.
Yes. So we expect that some of the things that are going to require more resources, we still have 1 year to plan ahead. Because they say Rome is not built in a day. The security challenges have been here for decades. It's not a making of just 5 years, 6 years. Some of the things we have seen here, where they are like perennial issues. They were perennial issues, and then we cannot address them immediately. So I concur with the Honorable Member Fofana, saying that there must be a plan to see how we're going to address this. And this is going to be our responsibility, so that we gradually move into solving these problems and for good. Because we know we are in a volatile region, and then most of the things that we want the security people to do for this country to protect us, and whatever we are doing in terms of revenue generations has to do with security. So we need to fund it more. And that is why even in the aspects of development, when we realize that some of the, you cannot secure an individual when you are not secure yourself. So when the committee went through these barracks, and some of these barracks are porous, you can come from anywhere and enter these barracks. Kafuta was like that, Sibanor was like that, Daslan was like that, and then the committee took the initiative to ensure that something is put in this, even though it was not enough at the committee level. But when we come here last budget session, the General Assembly was able to give the committee some funds to ensure that these barracks were fenced, and also even accommodation. A soldier's place is in the barracks. Soldier's home is in the barracks, not in the compounds or in their residential houses. So there must be a bigger plan to how do we house all these soldiers in barracks, so that you get them when you need them. But that also is capital intensive. So it requires the whole assembly to come together to ensure that we address those things. I know the ministry, at the level of the ministry, they are also planning, but the committee also will work with them to ensure, and even started last year, if I could recall, that we ensure that Farafenye, the accommodation facility in Farafenye, there was some work done on it, you know, and even there is some work that should be completed in Basse, and also there is a plan to do something in 1BN. So all these things require more resources to achieve these things. On the issue of benefits, allowances, and their livelihoods as soldiers, we must do something for them. You understand? So because, you know, the terms and conditions of service that guides the remunerations of soldiers and their allowances is obsolete, like the Honorable Member for Kiang was saying, and there is work being done to revise this TACOS, and which has exhausted most of the phases it should go through. And then even during this bilateral, it has been a subject of discussion from the committee engaging the ministry and the army to ensure that how do we come up with TACOS as soon as possible. But this also requires resources because there are costs attached. I'm saying all of these things because we make a lot of comments. When the issues come to Parliament, we consider it. That's why I started with the recommendation that the National Assembly prioritize defense and security. You know, so all these TACOS will be coming. They will come in almost. And then the issue about retirement package also is factored in the TACOS. How it is written, there is no retirement package. This is how it is considered based on what is given. You know, it's not something you consider as a retirement package. But it is there. It's not significant enough to call it a take-home. Somebody who has served for 30 years, 25 years, you know, I serve in this nation, go home with less than 21,000 after, you know. So it's generally, there is something you go home with, but it's not considered as a proper, befitting take-home. On the side of police also, we've made some stride last year when we discovered that there are mobility challenges, a whole region without one vehicle, Sierra North or South, I couldn't remember, and the committee took it upon itself to put about 2 vehicles for the police last year, which eventually was used for another purpose. But still, the challenges are still there. Like I said, it has to be a process, and Parliament must accompany the Defense and Security Committee to ensure that we do those things. You know, and also even police. There are, you know, as we develop, there are more challenges with regards to having more police stations everywhere. You understand? So that they provide the necessary securities that is. Whenever we make recommendations with regards to police, whatever, I'm not sure I'm preempting the mover, but you can still come back and do some of those things. I think I'll jump that one because I see you look at me, you will come out. I will jump that one. I will jump that one. That is yours. You know, so furniture and fitting, fire and ambulance. If you look at me, I will know. Just signal me. Let me leave those areas. Yes. If you walk around Serekunda, you've seen that there is work being done. Serekunda Fire and Fire Service. You know, there's been backfilled. You know, the situation no longer looks the same. It's as a result of community's intervention. We don't have to wait until we really report. These are issues that have been raised during our tour, and then there are, for one reason or the other, the report did not find its way on to the plenary, but we have made some strides to ensure that some of those things, even this year also, fire service also will benefit some developments in Mbara, in Brikama, etc. The mover will elaborate some of those things. You know, the security sector, we must remember, you know, employ a high chunk of a percentage of employment individuals in this country. So alleviating their working lives is going to boost the economy of this country, and this is something we should factor. Fire tenders. This is also very capital intensive. It's very, yes, he said, honorable member for Wuli is one fire. I think last year we budgeted for it is around 25 million. You understand? We've considered it. We've factored it. You understand? Because most of the fire tenders they are using are all second-hand. They are gifts. How do we ensure as Parliament to capacitize them? to ensure that they have what they need to provide the safety for the Gambian people. So this is one instrument they cannot go without. You understand? So how do we do that? The ball now is in our court. Let's see how we do that. This is supposed to be a long-term plan. It is something that's supposed to be available. And on the other issues, I think the mover will raise those, will delve into those matters just to assist him on some of those things. Generally, we note the concern of, there is uniform concern from all members with regard to security matters in this country, because security is our life. They are the one why we are here. They are the one why taxes are being collected. People who are comfortable and doing everything in society is because of security, the availability of security. So we must do our best to ensure that we prioritize, like the recommendation I quoted, to ensure that Parliament is able to address some of these things. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Member for Talinding Kunjang, for assisting the mover of the motion. May I now call upon the mover to respond to the issues raised and to wind up the debate. Honorable Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And a big thank you to all members who participated in the debate, and also my colleague and a committee member who also helped in responding to most of the questions that have been raised by members. Then this is the committee. This is why we call it the committee, so we can share and then help each other. Looking at the issues that are raised by most of us, it's maybe food and accommodation, border issue, tacos, our own report on paid allowances, fencing and vehicles, fire tender issue, fuel, reform equipment our security forces, the dump site, and then rehabilitation center, and then staff welfare with regards to also communication issues. Honorable Speaker, to start with, I know many members participated. I cannot call each and every one of you, just some of everything, because there is no time, and then the Jarankas are hungry. Honorable Speaker, I think let me start with the issue of the committee. Being a member also, I will say thank you to the chair, because he makes life easy for all of us in the sense that he intervenes without even consulting us on issues with regards to the security force. When they have issues, they go to him, and he must take it upon himself to make sure that he calls the finance minister to address those issues. So thank you very much, our chair, for doing that job well done. It is our concern, and it's a concern for all members about the security issue in this country. But what should we do as members? Some raise about prioritizing the security forces. Yes, it is now in our hands. As members, I'm appealing to all of you that come next budget, we see at least not 50, but 45% of the budget goes to security forces. I'm appealing that from all of you, because this is a concern to all of you, and it's raised by all of you, that we must see how we can prioritize them. Honorable Speaker, talking about food and accommodation, the colleagues have rightly mentioned, looking at this year's budget, this report is what we use as a guideline during our bilaterals to discuss with the stakeholders and see how best we can prioritize those areas that are affected by the report. And we all agreed with members and the heads to make sure that those areas are prioritized. And thank God that if you look at the budget, those areas we are not taking care of as we expect it to be, but we at least try to see what we can fine-tune to make sure that something is being seen as a change. Coming to the fences issue, last year, or this year's budget, the members help us here and give us some funds. Those funds were used to fence some areas. And still, those areas are still ongoing issues. They are fencing them. And this also, we have prioritized areas also to be fenced coming to this year's budget. So areas that are not fenced, the barracks that are not fenced, will be fenced, inshallah, based on what you have given them from members, from during our bilaterals, and where we used to say that those issues are not, these are not our priorities, we move them to the priority areas, and alhamdulillah, by next year, we'll see those different. Honorable Speaker, I must come to one point here in which, to be honest, at times it seems I cannot understand why members come with this sentence to say, why should we arm our security forces? Why should we arm them? If they are not armed, how secure are they? If they are not armed, how are we secure? We mentioned about the issue at Jabang Turntable. Were they armed? No, they were not. Let's have the trust in our men. Give them all what it takes to secure us as Gambians. But if you don't trust your men to give them all what it takes to secure, when civilians are moving clean security men, how about us as civilians? Our men are well trained. They are well trained. They are professionals. They are well trained. They went through the right channel to be trained. They went through. It took all the necessary things to be in those uniforms. They don't just pick from the street and then giving uniforms. Let's trust these people. They are our own brothers and sisters. Whilst we are sleeping, they are in the streets. Whilst we are here, they are out here, they are struggling. And tomorrow, if in case of any problem, we start blaming them. Yes, we need to motivate them. Yes, we need to give them all what it takes to be where they are. But we cannot, after doing all these things, let them give us what it takes to secure. How can you send in your men to go and protect a scene where there are violence? How can you send your men to go and apprehend somebody who is a drug dealer? Armless. This is why anytime you see there have been assault everywhere. Our men in uniform have been assaulted. Our own brothers have been assaulted. Our own sisters have been assaulted. Now we are saying we should not trust them to secure them. To give them what it takes to secure those positions. It's not fair. Let's be honest with ourselves and have trust in our these men. The member is not here. Our committee is not responsible with ECOMIC or ECOMOC. We have no issue, we have no hand to deal with ECOMOC. ECOMOC is not brought here by us. ECOMOC is here for a reason. Those responsibilities lies in the hands of the one who bring them here. But we have no oversight function on ECOMIC or ECOMOC, that's why we don't go there. So we cannot recommend anything about ECOMOC. I wish he was here to listen to my response. The committee is its job to go and our own service, that's what we visited, and that's what we recommended for. Looking at the recommendations, yes, they are not time-bound. But it is through this committee, to this parliament here, that we have to create time-bound for it. Because all our recommendations are based on what? They are based on the budget. What is given is what is allocated. Through this allocation, what we should use to help.
Order, member for Kiang West. Another order, please.
The dump site and the issue of Mile 2, people raise it. Yes, during our bilateral with the minister, they are planning to move the Mile 2 prison to Old Joshua because of the condition of the Mile 2. We have the dump site. Yes, it's our responsibility, but I think it would have been very wise for us to engage the municipal council to do their job. Because it's under the municipal council. That's their responsibility. Yes, as a government, they should also play their role, but the municipal council also to take the lead. This is why they are moving the dump site the prisons to Old Joshua, at least abandon this Mile 2 prison, in which we are in a battle, because we, the people of Joshua, are saying no to that. Honorable Speaker, I think the security of this country is now in our hands. We need to be our own security also. How can we help them? Not everything that should be done by them. They do the job, but still we don't appreciate. We don't respect them. We don't give them all it takes to be what they are today. And then today we stand here to say they don't need A, B, C, and D. That's very wrong. Honorable Speaker, to sum it up about their allowances, unpaid allowances, we made it very clear to the minister that they should make sure that all those unpaid allowances should be paid. And we agree that they will be paid. Those unpaid allowances will be taken care of. The fire tenders, as one of the colleagues has mentioned, these are very expensive. They are capital expenditures. Yes, since we of this country, as the minister has already mentioned, we have never buy a new fire tender for our own, on our own. What we expect is donors giving us. But maybe as time goes on, being expensive, we'll see what we can do. But currently, as we are currently doing, we are trying to rehabilitate and also build most of these fire stations. If you go to Kyrgyzstan, it's ongoing. Birkama, we have approved part of the budget to move it to Birkama, for them to pave Birkama, and also Bara with some other areas. So the committee did a lot to see what they can do on the development issue, because in our budgets we always forget about development. The percentage given to development is always very small, but our committee start over and see we need to have development. Yes, we need to have emoluments, but development also is very key. So some of the areas that we have seen that they are not necessary, we push those funds to development to at least see that those areas are developed. So the committee made that move, and then, to be honest, for coming this year, we'll see a lot of changes. Honorable Speaker, I think for the communication issue, the member has mentioned about the Navy issue, that they have less communication issue within the Navy, which is right. But this year also, we have allocated some funds, at least for them to also buy some communication gadgets for the Navy and for the Army. We have allocated funds for them through this year's budget. From where we have our savings, that's where we relocate to those areas. Because it's also a concern to us. We cannot go on patrol without communication. So we have allocated some funds for them to take care of those things. Honorable Speaker, somebody raised about the immigration on their collections. Yes, they are collecting. But looking at what they are collecting, it goes back to the central government. They made an appeal that what can we do for them to make sure that what they are collecting also is taking care of some of their needs, in which we appealed to the minister, and then he made promise that they will sit together and see, because they already have an account at the central bank, which was being used during the past government, and it is currently in use also. But it delays before they respond to their needs. But through the intervention of the chair and also the members, they will look into it and then see what they can do on that. The border issue, everybody is concerned about the border issue. We had a discussion with the minister, and the two governments are discussing, they are talking, they engage each other, and then they have come to a certain level of understanding to say, now we need to demarcate, but it will take time to demarcate. But if you want peace, let's also move back to our original positions. And now they agree on that, they have moved back to their original position before the demarcation issue is in place. Because it also takes time for you to come and demarcate and then know where your boundaries are. Because we all know about border issues. It's not one day thing that you go today and then do it tomorrow. So it must take time, and it must take bilateral between the two countries, and they are on that. The issue of for the fuel, we talk about it. Dump side, we talk about it. So I think, Honorable Speaker, I will also continue to come back to my final intervention with regards to the budget. Again, thanking all members for saying a very big thanks to all of you, and also appealing to you to at least consider this report as it is, and then with some recommendation. And with regard, when it comes to our recommendation, we need your support so that it's our responsibility to do our oversight functions. When the recommendations are given and we don't do our oversight function, it makes no sense. So I'm appealing to all of you for us to do our oversight function. After our recommendation, let's do the follow-up to see what is happening. So if these things are being done the way it should be, I don't think that we come back here and then start complaining about it, but that are not being taking place. So I'm appealing to all of us to do take care of our oversight function seriously and do what is right when we give the recommendation, even if they are time bound. If the needful is not done, it makes no sense. So let's act as the way we should act. Let's function the way we should function. If it's happening, there will be no problem. On that note, I thank everybody.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Joswang and mover of the motion, for that insightful and brilliant response. Honorable members,
Speaker,
be it resolved that
observation on the report.
No.
Before we adopt it.
No.
I'm asking a question. How do we adopt it now? Is it we are proposing recommendations, or we have a resolution, or are we adopting it with how it is, because we have not made any amendment or any binding recommendation now. Or are we adopting it the way it is? But which, no, let me comment, because I don't want to set precedent why we highlight recommendations along the line, but we do not capture them so that we know that these are the recommendations that we came with. Because otherwise they will say, you have debated on points, but you have not specifically said, do this and do that. That has not been done. That's what I'm trying to observe.
Honorable Speaker,
Yeah.
can I say something, please?
Banjul, not yes.
Please. I think what I've witnessed here is very clear. Members made recommendation. For example, nominated member, in terms of the timeline of the implementation of the report. I think these are recommendations that we are taken by the mover of this motion. So other recommendations were also mentioned. Maybe you stepped out, that is why you were not able to capture those recommendations.
Honorable Speaker, I have no problem with that. I may be reminded that recommendations are set.
Honorable.
I have no problem with that.
If you want to speak, request the mic.
Yes, this is why I raised this one, to indicate that I want to speak.
Please. Okay, member for Nyanija, I'll come to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Just by way of maybe procedure and helping my honorable brother, what normally transpired here, and according to our standing orders, once a report is late presented here, if you have any recommendation as per what is submitted, you propose it and it will be taken care of by the clerk, and they will, thereby they can incorporate it, we adopt it with amendments. And then, I forgot the standing order, after some period, the responsible ministry, department or agency will come back here, respond to the issues raised in the report, whether they can implement it partially or maybe within a time frame, then that also will be adopted. Then that's the document the committee will use to be able to monitor some of the progress as we move. Thank you very much.
Kiangwes?
Yes, I don't have any problem with that, and I agree with it 100%. I don't have any problem with that. I was having an observation to suggest a recommendation, as you said. But if the recommendations were highlighted as I stepped out of the House, that's not a big deal because I went to observe the press. But then I'm suggesting that we propose recommendations, as you rightly put across. I'm not saying recommendations should not be set in that manner. That's what I was also trying to do. But if they were being done as I stepped out, I have no problem with that.
Honorable Speaker, I think it's refreshing to hear from Kiangwes, but we should understand that parliamentary work is no single individual's responsibility. When you step out, you must have at the back of your mind that the people inside are responsible, and they will do the work. Wait.
That statement is not correct. With all due respect.
Order, member for...
With all due respect, that's not...
Order, member for Kiangwes, please take your seat.
Point of order.
Nominated member Kebalang Fofana.
Point of order.
Please.
Point of order. Point of order.
Please sit down, honorable members. Honorable member for Kiangwes, please take your seat, sir.
Point of order.
Yeah, there is a point of order. Can we hear that, please? Honorable member Kebalang Fofana, there is a point of order from the member for 𝒂𝒏𝒔.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm rising on order 17F. Whilst members are speaking, other members should remain silent and not make any unseemly interruptions. The nominated member has been given the floor, and the honorable member for Kiangwes has been interrupting him. And I don't think that is in order. He has to make decorum in the chamber. You don't have to intervene anyhow you feel like. You cannot control this chamber.
Thank you. Point of order sustained. Honorable members, please, when members are speaking, you have to maintain decorum. And if you want to speak, you must seek the floor. You must seek leave from the speaker. Either you raise the point of order, point of observation, point of corrections, then where is the speaker who should give you leave, the speaker will do so. If the member so wishes, the member will do so. If not, you allow the member to continue. If you have any issues with any member, whatever the person said, if you think it's out of order, you stand to a point of order, and then the speaker will make rulings. But it's not a bantaba or in the rice field where we can always quarrel. No member Kebalang Fofana, you may continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I'll just pick up where I stopped. Parliamentary work is concerted effort. When you step out, we don't pause the business, we continue. And many a times we see members flouting procedures and rules here, keeping people in chambers for no good reason. We are guided by principles, procedures, and rules. Read your standing orders, and you get it right. The rest is just irresponsibility. And thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rest my case.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I think there are recommendations.
Honorable Speaker.
No, you don't.
No, when a member makes a remark about me, hear me out also.
Yeah.
Because he has made a remark about me. I have not made any single remark about anybody. I said, hadn't been that has not happened, I was also going to do that. I said, but I'm fine because I have stepped out. I have no problem with that. That doesn't mean he can say this is a responsible parliament. I'm not saying this is not a responsible parliament, and I know my colleagues are.
Are sent to these people for the
the speaker keeps reminding members we must not use the mic without permission, and that is against our standing orders. If you want to speak, raise your tag, and if you are given the permission, but don't just put on your mic and start speaking. That is out of order. Honorable members make their comments and the committee recommendations, and they have highlighted those recommendations. And once reports are passed, they become legally binding, and Parliament, the Office of the Clerks, usually writes to those departments or ministries concerned, and they reply, and that various committees, as members highlighted, should track their recommendations. And usually, the mover may propose to be passed with amendment or as it is, and I think they have highlighted all the recommendations, as the Member Kebalang indicated also. Others also in their contribution added value to the report, and on those basis that the report will be adopted as it is. It has all those recommendations and concerns raised by the Standing Committee on Defense and Security. Honorable members, now I want to put the question. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Defense and Security Standing Committee's visit to security installations and facilities across the country in November 2022. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk?
Honorable Speaker, can I please observe?
You observe who? Who are you observing? Suggestion? Or what proposal? Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I want to suggest that it's almost 4 minutes past 3 now. I think this is a convenience time for the assemblies to go on break and come back later.
Why not we deal the other report, then we break?
Honorable Speaker, that will be too much.
No, it's the lunch there yet. The lunch is not there.
It looks like is most members want us to stay and continue, right? All right. Member for Sabah Sanjal.
Honorable Speaker, I think we have a lot of reports to deal with today, and I think we can continue until 3:30. Then we can have a break. You know, I think it's better for us to continue because we have a lot of things to do
Honorable
today.
Speaker.
Those who want us to break, raise your tax.
Then negative. Then break.
Those who want us to break now, raise your tax. Those who want us to continue, please raise your tax. Honorable members, it's a